this. All right, what's up? Let's see, are we live? I had a little bit of technical difficulties. That's one thing, man. PC be doing some weird stuff. You know what I mean? I just need to know, are we good? Are we live? Oh, wait a minute. Oh, this might help a bit. There we go. A little bit of lighting. You know, it's all about the lighting, right? It's all about the lighting. I just need to know, are we crispy? Are we crispy? Are we crisp? You know, that's what I need to know. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? We got crispy. Yes, sir. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I gotta start off with the, with the Monica. Welcome, my friends, my family, my fellow gamers. It's your only friend in these YouTube streets, Porter77. P-Rock, Porter Rock, Pot Rock, the Puerto Rican Thanos. What is going on? Oh, man. Yo, I'm happy. I'm happy to do something live for you guys on a Sunday. I love it. I love it. I'm excited. I look forward to some Thanos Rican facts. YouTube, they put out the ad. Now would be a good time to insert ads. Creators earn more money inserting. Yo, YouTube be wildin'. Like, yo, we barely got started. I have yet to use the ad button, but don't make me use it. Alright? Hit that like button, or I'm gonna hit y'all with the ads. Alright? Y'all gonna be seeing some Metamucil, you know what I'm saying? Commercials. Yeah, y'all gonna see some Viagra commercials. Keep messing with me. You know. You're gonna see commercials with old people worrying about that they can't get it up no more. You will see those commercials. Don't mess with me. Alright? You could just simply hit the like button. It's less than a second. You know what I'm saying? Or you're going to be seeing 3 minutes of, have you been getting enough dietary fiber? And it will be unskippable. You won't be able to skip it. A whole 3 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Keep playing with me. Go ahead and ignore that like button and see how fast I'll hit that ad button. Yo. What's up, man? I'm really happy. I'm really glad. You know, it's a great day, man. It's been a great weekend. You know, it's just been great. Everything's been great, man. It's been busy for me personally. It's been busy. Just to keep you up to date. Some of you already know I'm finishing my degree while still being an active duty Marine. About a week or two ago, had to go back to my house that I own in North Carolina, empty it out so I could get some renovations done and stuff like that. Fix her up in the house. I pretty much got 4 more years left in the Marine Corps. Yeah, because, hey, everything comes to end. So in about 4 years, I'll be retiring. Which, it seems like a lot, but it's not a lot. Especially when you're going to transition to a new life, right? So that's why I'm trying to make sure I finish my degree, because the military pays for it. Something called tuition assistance. So, sure, the military has something called the GI Bill. For those in America. And for those for Europe, I'll explain it to you. So in the military, we have, there's a lot of benefits to join the military, right? But for education-wise, there's something called the GI Bill. That's probably the most common thing that's advertised. And what it is it's when you leave the military, you pretty much have like a scholarship that will pay for up to a 4-year education, right? They will pay for your school. A lot of schools take it. Almost every school takes it across the United States. And not only does it pay for your education, but about 10 years ago, 12 years ago, whatever, it now includes room and board. So now you get housing allowance. So they pay for your school, and while you're in school, they pay for your housing allowance, depending on the area you live in. So it goes up and down, right? So great program, great things for whatever, So a lot of people join the military, do 4 years, then they come back, they leave, they're done with their 4 years, and boom, they go straight to college, and it's a debt-free education, great program, right? But what is not advertised, and people don't know until they join the military has a program called tuition assistance, which means they will pay for college up to $1,000 per credit hour, and most schools automatically take it. So a school that charges $2,000 per credit hour, they will drop it down to $1,000. If they accept the TA program. But what it is it's more money that you're able to use every year. Up to, I think military gives you $4,500 per year. So at 1,000 credit hours, you could take up to 4 classes per year, right? And that's separate from GI Bill. So technically, you could start doing school and even finish school and not touch your GI Bill. I know guys who, completed their masters, done, and they still haven't touched their GI Bill. So what they do is their GI Bill, they transfer it to their kids, because you can earn your GI Bill and not even use it. You could put under your kid's name, and now your kid goes to college for free. So that's what a lot of people who are on active duty and make it a career, the GI Bill is really for their kids, and they could split it. Obviously if you have one kid and the kid's lucky, has it all, but if you split it, then obviously only so much college gets paid. So like I know somebody that had 2 kids. So what he did was he had his kids go to like a community college for the first 2 years, right? Each of them. And then the last 2 years when they go for their bachelor's, he gave them half of his 9/11 GI Bill to each of them. So the first 2 years through scholarships and whatever they had to pay, but the last 2 years, their last 2 years of education was completely paid, and they got money for room and board. So you see what I'm saying? So there's a lot of things you could, whatever. So me, I'm using tuition assistance. I'm trying to go all the way up to finish my master's, and, almost 30 years in the Marines with a master's, be great for the workforce and whatever. And then I get to chill. I mean, I know work, civilian work life is still hard working, but I'm telling you, man, maybe one day I'm going to do a podcast. I think I'm going to do, not podcast, but I might go live one day on a Sunday. It'll be on a Sunday or weekend, and just talk about military life. And just, it's just a lot of stuff, man. Doing that. But anyway, we did that, and then just my man said just do ads, But anyway, I've been blessed. I'm hoping I get to the point, right now it's because between my house, that, and I'm gonna be honest, the summer, me and my wife, it's just me and my wife now, because my daughter, she's already an adult and she's doing great. So me and my wife, we just enjoying California in the summer. Summer's great, so any opportunity, and I'm gonna do stuff like that. Give you guys advice on marriage. I think, I should do every once in a while something outside of gaming, and maybe some personal conversation from my experience. Because I think even though we're all about gaming, we're all still human beings. A lot of us are adults. Some of you are young adults, and I think, genuine advice, is needed, right? But we'll do that conversation, But I do have plans for this channel. I want to make it grow. I want to provide, I understand the crux is the information and the conversations, but there are still aesthetics. We still, the layout, how I lay out my OBS streams and stuff like that. I want to include banners, so that way, like, the members, the people who are part of the members family, their names scroll by and stuff like that. I want to show more to appreciate you guys and stuff like that. All that stuff to me is critical, because I think you guys are at the heart. The channel are surrounded by you. You guys are at the center of this whole thing. Without you, then there would be no channel, right? So I'm just a dude providing the information, having a conversation, but at the heart of it is the audience, is you guys, right? And without the audience, it just doesn't mean anything, right? And it's not monetization. None of that really matters. What matters is the audience, the comments, interaction on Twitter and the DMs and stuff like that. That's very important, stuff like that, right? So I definitely want to grow aesthetically and show more consistent appreciation for you guys. And I truly, really appreciate it, man. You guys are awesome. I'm blessed. I'm really blessed every time you guys show up here, right? But right now I see 100 viewers and 47 likes. Y'all really want this ad button. Yeah. You know what? I think you guys think I'm bluffing. Y'all think I'm bluffing. You guys think I won't hit that ad button. I'm gonna hit that ad button if I don't see these likes comes up. Yeah, I think you want the Metamucil commercials. I think you want the Geritol. Hit it. My man says, hit that button, hit the like button before you go live. Everybody's like, y'all want, he said, I got ad blocker. Go ahead and try. Overdone, don't test me, because we'll test that ad blocker. right? We'll test it. We'll see. All right. You know what? Yeah, I want that Game Pass ad. I want Peppa Pig. You know what? So my channel I have God of War's recommended. I'm gonna switch that to Peppa Pig, and hopefully when I hit the add button, it shows you Peppa Pig Power Washing Simulator. Mary Wilcox says don't encourage him. Ice Cream's like, I really hit the like button. Yo, it's funny. Everybody's like, no, not that. Sport Rock, please, don't do that. It's like it's the worst thing ever. Oh man, that's just evil. I'm telling you what, I haven't done it, and I don't think I'll ever do it because I think that's just straight evil. To have a live broadcast, and you're listening to live, and you're listening to the guy, and then boom, a commercial comes up. Are you having marital problems? And you're like 15 years old, and you're like, what? Has your performance been not up to par? And you're like this for your gaming controller. Are we talking competitive multiplayer? And then you keep listening to a commercial, and the game is like, oh no, this is not a gaming commercial. Oh. That's a messed up, that'd be a messed up commercial, man. Oh, say, blue chew ass, that's what I'm talking about. Yo, I cannot, oh my God. Yo, so there's an Instagram, I like some of the comedy channels on Instagram. So there's a Instagram account, two of them that I listen to, and they're young, they're adults now, but I've been watching it a long time. It's a dude named Chicle and his girl Marlene Cruz. It's two Latino couples. They're like the new version of Lucille Ball and whatever. They're just funny, whatever. But yo, when they do them Blue Chew, because they sponsor Blue Chew, whatever. And he's like, oh yeah, I'm ready for Blue Chew. I'm like, bro, you like 19. I mean, he's like 30. But I'm like, you're too young to need Blue Chew to wear her out. I'm like, yo, this is weird. I mean, I know he's doing it, to advertise. He's advertising. But I'm like, I'm thinking he really doesn't use that, right? You're too young. You understand what I'm saying? Like let's say, like, if I was like an Instagram guy or whatever, right? I don't know. I mean, I know the money's there. Maybe it's just me, but there's certain products I probably won't endorse because I wouldn't endorse a product that I actually don't use. That's just me. And I know that's a bad attitude. Not bad attitude. I won't even say bad. I know that's not an optimal decision to make if you're trying to make money in, the influencer world, right? You want to take as many ads or as many companies that join in, right? Advertise their products so you can make in that revenue. But I don't know if somebody came in and Blue Chew came, hey yo Puerto, can you endorse our Blue Chew product? And now I'm making a video talking about how I need Blue Chew, to wear out the guts. I don't know about that. I don't know how I would approach that commercial. Because for me, being on Blue Chew would be like the equivalent of giving Batman the Infinity Gauntlet. You about to die. You know what I'm saying? That's like, yo, that's overpowered now. Like, you don't need it. Batman don't need the Infinity Gauntlet. But if you gave Batman the Infinity Gauntlet, fuck. Like, you just completely broke comics. Now comics is broken. You know what I'm saying? Like, girl, you's about to die. Like, you don't want me on this. You don't want to give me the Blue Chew. Because you going to die. You know what I'm saying? You don't give Batman, like, hey, here, Batman, the Infinity Gauntlet. No. You don't do that. Like, it's overpowered. Like, you overdid it. Whoever wrote that comic really overdid it now. You ain't gonna give Batman the Infinity Gauntlet. Like, the fuck? Overpowered. Shout out to Bobo Country. God of War 11/11/22 was a kill shot. Oh man, that was crazy. They actually considered releasing on that day. I wonder if they changed the date because Starfield canceled it. I wonder if Sony put that game the same day as Starfield to force the consumers, go ahead, pick your poison. I wonder if that was the original plan. And now that Starfield was delayed till next year, Sony says, all right, we don't need 11/11. I wonder if Sony strategically was saying, we're not going to give Starfield its own day. It's not going to happen. I wondered. But that trailer, I wonder if they accidentally forgot to change the date, or if they did it on purpose just to get the conversation. Because I'm going to tell you what, this is a good conversation. This is a good advertisement. Everybody's talking about it. Even people who don't really care for God of War, just the mere mention that Sony was going to be petty, trends. It's great. It's great media. Like the media and advertisement completely changed because of social media. Social media has taken advertising products to a whole new level. So it's crazy. It's crazy, right? How this happens, right? But let me see who's up in here. I want to show my appreciation, right? We got Call Me Jay, of course. Dabbing. We got Evolution Laker. Alex, what's up? Ice Queen Gaming, thanks for rocking out. Overdone. Grand opening, grand closing. Fucking overdone. Prowler29. All right, we got Enki. Carol Anchor, always now. Carol is always usually one of the first ones. As soon as I create, it's funny, because usually when I create the room and then I publish it, boom, Carol's in there. He's like, what? Yo, what up? Shout out, man. Thank you so much for rocking. Object to Be was good. Hello. Mary Wilcox, welcome. My boy Eustace, what's up? We were on this podcast. Yo, I got to get you on. Yo, I'm going to hit you up this Tuesday. You and your boy. We got some good topics to talk about. We're going to talk about why Halo Infinite is trash. Everybody's it's funny. Halo Infinite is getting that work this week. Like, it's getting so much work that I don't even need to talk about it. It's like, it's on its own, bro. Like, Halo Infinite is just, Halo just fell the hell off, bro. I don't care. Listen, I don't care how hard of an Xbox fanboy you are. There is no way that you cannot see the franchise just fell the hell off. It went from big blockbuster multiplayer event that would compete with Call of Duty on any given day throughout the generation to now a free-to-play game that nobody really gives a shit about. Two totally different. You would think we would be talking about two totally different games. It's crazy, man. Let's see. Here we go. We got I San Lorius. I hope I pronounce it right. Is San Lorius Island Lorius? Oh man, I see I San Lorius. I'm gonna call you Lorius if you don't mind. You really testing my reading capabilities here. Vedger, of course, was good. Thank you so much for showing up. Always appreciate you coming through. Sergeant Kratos up in here. Who else we got? Star Guardian. Otaku Shaku. All right. What up? Was a Cold Blood Sensei. We got Dre X the One. Advocate 1818. What else we got? Oh, snap. We got Tirana Duffy, a member. With the Thundercats avatar. What you know about that? What you know about that Thundercats? You know what I'm saying? Oh, I would love a Thundercats game. And not no indie bullshit. I'm talking full-fledged production. Oh my god. Tell me that wouldn't be dope. Oh, that would be so dope. That game deserves that franchise. Even though Thundercats hasn't been around for who knows how long. Oh my god, that would be hype. Shout out to Duffy. Super Miguel, what's going on? Who else we got up in here? Post up is Little Rodney's son. What's up? Spider Silva. We got the Ruham. My God. What up, my brother? Thank you for rocking out. Glad you're here. Bossy the Great. Going down. Everybody's having Brian. What's up? Here we go. Going through. Harry, what's up? Good to see you. Plus Ultra, welcome aboard. Neil Augusto, glad you're around. Thank you for showing up. What else we got here? Oreo Cookie Gaming. GI Bill checks were nice. So if you know. If you know, Jeff B Gaming. Planet Federation of Unions. Yeah. Thank you for showing up. Ryan, thank you for showing up. TKRDS up in here. Tony, what up? Thank you for showing up, man. Thank you for being part of the podcast. JFK TV. Hey, JFK TV. I need to hit your DM. See if you want to come through Tuesday. Would truly appreciate you rocking out. Who else we got up in here? Going through. We're almost done. Of course, Borbor. Thank you so much for the super chat. Borbor said also in the super chat, Spider-Man 2 will get Starfield. Cannot hide. Ooh, it's gonna be an interesting year. Spider-Man 2 versus Starfield. You know, J-Wags. What's up? DMG. Savage. 11-11-12. The Truth. Big Job. Does Blue Chew skits too? Yeah, he be putting females in wheelchairs. Yo, that should be potent. That's what I would be doing, bro. Yo, can't put me on that Blue Chew, bro. I would eviscerate the uterus. No, I'm just playing. I'm talking shit. Jackie, what's up? Briar Reels, what's good? Who we got? Okay, Jackie. Okay, yeah, I always said that. Savage, what's up? And I think we got it. All right, so we up in here. We good here. You know, we got over 180 people. Please hit the like button, or you getting this ad. You're gonna get that Blue Chew ad. You're gonna get this Blue Chew ad. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna get these, lack of performance ads. You're gonna get this Metamucil. Are you getting enough fiber? And you're gonna get the nasty one, the one that you actually put it in water and it turns brown. It looks like, diarrhea. You're gonna get that. You're gonna get them ads. You're gonna get these ads. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna get them Game Pass Peppa Pig ads, and you're gonna like it. I'll just play. But let me start off with this. I know the topic about the first one, but I want to start off with this one. I'm gonna share my screen real quick. We'll start with the screen share. Here we go. So once again, this comes out every so often, right? Where Xbox gamers is just, if there's one community, you got PC community, you got Nintendo community, you got PlayStation community, and you got the Xbox community. Those are your four communities, right? When it comes to gaming topic, the most ill-informed, while wanting to talk a lot, is the Xbox gamers in the community, right? Nintendo, there's a lot of guys that only care about Nintendo, so they don't know much, but they don't jump into conversations. They don't make outlandish conversations. They, for most part, the only time they'll get involved is if you bring up Nintendo. If you bring up Nintendo, they will come in full force and you're going to get the work, right? They're going to try to give you the smoke. But if you leave Nintendo alone, they're pretty much, they leave it alone, right? Now, don't confuse, let's say, like an Xbox gamer that tries to use Nintendo as a way to console war. You understand what I'm saying? Because a lot of Xbox gamers try to do that. That try to argue, gaming. Big, Sony's first party sells, first party don't matter. First party sales, whatever, because they'll be like Nintendo. But they won't mention Xbox. You see what I'm saying? So they'll use Nintendo. They'll weaponize Nintendo. That's what they do. But the actual Nintendo guys, you will not hear actual Nintendo gamers say first party don't matter. Hell, if you talk to most Nintendo, they prefer first party over third party. That's the reason why they're on Nintendo. If you talk to a lot of Nintendo guys who love Nintendo games, they'll tell you a lot of third party games are nothing but derivative, copy, paste, junk, whatever. Nintendo grades fun, unique content that are well polished. If you tell them, hell, they even tell you it's worth the $60, even if the game is 3-4 years old. They'll tell you that. Nintendo's games stay quality. They don't depreciate because they have this standard for Nintendo. So you won't hear Nintendo guys, right? They kind of like stay out in the woodworks and mind their own business, right? For the most part, right? But the Xbox guys, they're the ones that know the least, but goddamn do they talk the most. They will talk a lot on shit that they just don't know. So once again, this dude, PlayStation reveals the following sales after 2 years. The Last of Us 2, 10 million. But now he put a dollar sign. So that means it's $10 million. That's not sales. And then he put Ghost of Tsushima. Now, the first one could have been, typo. I do typos a lot. I misspell words all the time. Sometimes there are words that aren't misspelled, but it's a completely wrong word. But I blame that on iOS autocorrect. I don't know why iOS autocorrect correct well-placed words with something else. And then when I hit tweet, I don't notice it. And I'm like, that doesn't make sense. It's not like I used the wrong word in the first. It's just weird. Ghost of Tsushima, $9.73 million. Ladies and gentlemen, that's under 10% install base. Well, first of all, brother, you mentioned dollars. So the install base is made of people who are potential buyers, and then you compare dollars. But I knew what he was talking about. He either did a typo or he typed too fast and didn't realize, it could have been anything. So while I talk shit, chances are it's a typo. He shouldn't have used the dollar symbol. He should have just used 10 million and 9.73 million. He incorrectly used the dollar sign. So him, as much as I want to talk shit, it could just be a typo. He just probably, fat fingered it, right? So let me screen out. So for him, yeah. All right, you typo whatever. Who I don't forgive is these numbnuts. Watch. Look at this. Let me show you some of the douchebags. They come at me saying, no, dummy, he's talking dollars. I'm like, what the fuck is, like, those are the guys right here, like this guy that says 10 million, not 10 million copies. Not defending their logic, just saying that at $60 average for games, that's only like 163,000 copies each, which still isn't bad in my opinion. Never played the last, you see? So that guy's an idiot. Symbiotical, you're an idiot. All right? You're an idiot. You are an idiot. Because if you read the whole tweet, dummy, he says, ladies and gentlemen, that's under 10% of install base. So clearly he's talking about sales figures of the individual game in comparison to the fan base. $10 million is not 10% of the install base. That doesn't make sense. The install base is made of human beings. Right? So the install base is $100 million? No, you goof. The dollar sign was a typo. He meant 10 million cells. And he's comparing the cells with the amount of people that are capable. Meaning 10 million people bought the game out of 100 million. That's 10% of the install base. So people like him who cannot read an entire tweet. The dude literally did this. Let me show you screen. This is what this dude read. He just read from here above. He didn't include this portion. A lot of Twitter guys do that. A lot of Twitter guys take the whole entire tweet and only break it apart in a single line. That's not how it works. This is not the Holy Bible. This is not the Bible. You don't get to use one quote and ignore everything around it. You dumbass. God, bro. And these are just many examples on why, for the most part, I just talk shit on Twitter. Because that place is flooded with these guys. Look at this guy, Alex. And you from Europe, right? From Europe. Sweden, to be in fact. I expect Swedish education to be better than American education. But the problem is, being a corporate concubine for Microsoft is a disease. So it doesn't matter where you go to school. You could have the best education. You could graduate, summa cum laude from Cambridge. But the moment you decide to concubine for Xbox, you're dumb. You'll be lucky if you can even pass a GED exam. Because something about protecting Xbox interferes with your rational, critical thinking. Something. I don't know what it is with your Xbox dudes. But the moment you protect Xbox, logic just goes out. Like, you cannot. Again, 10 million copies and $10 million revenue are two different things. Yeah, no shit. But again, if you read the tweet, you should have read it and you should have instantly said, oh, that's a typo. He didn't mean to put the dollar symbol. He's talking about 10 million cells. Everybody who reads that tweet should have the basic fundamental education to see that. Nope. Not Alex. Not, let's see, Star Boss? I'm sorry, but big difference between 10 million purchases, $600 million if bought in retail, and $10 million. You see? Now him. Let's see what else. Let's see who else. There is a reason why almost never reveal sales numbers. They are just not high enough. While people playing X game is more impressive for them. What? I don't know what the hell he's talking about. See? This guy, Alonzo. This is what I'm talking about, Alonzo. See, Alonzo's like, first of all, the original post makes no sense because they say sales and then show revenue. If The Last of Us 2 made $10 million, then that would be sold around 106,000 copies. What the fuck are they talking about? See? Now that I can understand. Maybe the thought of, oh, he did a typo doesn't sink in. Maybe the thought of, man, he just did a typo. Maybe you don't want to make that claim. But if you're not going to make the claim it's a typo, then his tweet don't make sense. So I give respect to Alonzo. Alonzo, you a smart dude. Because you don't concubine for Xbox. See the rational thinking? He's like, wait a minute. Now, obviously, Alonzo didn't think of typo. I automatically assume typo. It's the easiest, most rational answer. He didn't mean to put the $sign, right? But let's say you don't want to go that route because that is an assumption. That is an assumption. But let's say he did really mean $10 million. Let's say that was his actual point. Then Alonzo will be right. It doesn't make sense. Because right off the bat, when The Last of Us first launched, it sold 4 million copies within 3 days. So we already know it sold more than 166,000. So Alonzo's right. Like, this doesn't make sense. Because 10 million means 160,000. But we all know it sold at least 4 million. What the fuck are you talking about? See, Alonzo, you're the real one. You're the real one. Now, another Xbox dude. Again. Xbox dudes, they lose all rational thinking. General MLD, he says, well, now you're just comparing the Xbox strategy as if it's the same approach, which we all know is falsehood. Sales is just a means to players, Xbox really bypass requirement. See? It's something about the Xbox. Because if you look at my tweet, I'm talking about games that came out before the whole Game Pass mantra. See? I use these examples to show that selling 10 million is a challenging metric. It is not easy. Majority of the games in the industry do not sell 10 million, even multiplats. They don't. Right? So that's why to put 10 million perspective, no standalone Gears game. Gears 1, Gears 2, Gears 3, Gears 4, Gears 5, right? Sold 10 million. No standalone Halo title. Halo 1, Halo 2. Or now, no, only one. Only one Halo title. Sold 10 million. Actually sold 13, Halo 3. But Halo 1 didn't sell 10 million. Halo 2 didn't sell 10 million. Halo 4, Halo Reach, Halo 8 OST, Halo 5. None of the Fables sold 10 million. None of the Forces. Majority of these games came out before the Game Pass model. So how did MLD conclude that I'm comparing to the current strategy? These games came out before the Game Pass strategy. Well, now you're just comparing the Xbox. No, I'm not. I didn't mention anything about Game Pass. And these games came out way before Game Pass when the model was sales. And as you can see, 10 million sales is challenging. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm talking about? This disease with Xbox? How did he critically think that I'm trying to compare the strategy today using games decades ago? Halo 1 came out during the OG Xbox era. Like, what is you talking about? Right? Another one, Corey Wells. Selling 10 million copies, selling 10 million are very different numbers. Like, Jesus Christ, bro. Like, I don't know. I don't know you guys. Right here. Are we saying $10 million or 10 million copies? These are two drastically different metrics. That I agree. So the discuss here is so confusing. So I can't blame you. Right? Kyle Fisher, I can't blame you. Right? So I'm not going to say you're dumb. I understand. You are smart in realizing something doesn't make sense. Now, because my critical thinking analysis, again, if we look at his tweet and you read the whole tweet, the problem is some of you are only reading that sentence. Read the entire tweet. Use the entire information again for him. Sure, just reading The Last of Us and $10 million, Ghost of Tsushima $9.73 million, because that symbol is confusing. But if you continue to read, he said, ladies and gentlemen, that's under 10% of the install base. That is the key term that will let you know. And then the next part, PlayStation fans do not buy games. So he's talking about PlayStation fans buying games and the install base. So when you be like, all right, his thesis, if you took college, and you took college English 101, what did they teach you when it comes to writing a paper? The thesis statement. PlayStation fans do not buy games. That is his thesis statement. Right? Ladies and gentlemen, that's under 10% install base. That is his supportive argument. So, if that's what he's trying to tell people, then obviously The Last of Us 2 and the Ghost of Tsushima, 10 million, 9.73 million are actual sales numbers, not dollar numbers. Especially where he got those numbers is from Sony. They revealed The Last of Us 2 sold 10 million copies and Ghost of Tsushima sold 9.73 copies. So obviously, if that's what Sony, specific numbers are from Sony, and you look at what he's saying, this is all critical thinking. This is why the Xbox community is so difficult to work with. They don't do critical analysis. So, gaming conversation is just a mess with these dudes, bro. It's just like shit. So let me go back so I could see some super chats and see your points. My boy Olamoko said, my brother P-Rock, my PlayStation brothers, I love you all. Keep on fighting the good fight. Stomp the Xbox down. No doubt, man. You know, and really, even though it's Xbox, we're stomping mediocrity in education. We're stomping people who are poisoning or just ruining gaming conversations. Because they just simply suck at it. And this is why. Leo Jimmy. Sony is the old Cobra Kai. No mercy. Oh, it's that. You see what I'm saying? Who is it? Is my brother Dr. Ark here? My brother Dr. Ark here. We about to learn today. Go ahead, big bro. Yo, if you're not busy, hop in here. Let me jump in, man. If you're not busy, big little bro, you could jump in, man. Because I would like to talk about certain things. You know, we you know, there's, you know. But let me go back. Let me go back here. What was I at? You know, but I mean, I could go on all day. There's so many people here that just are terrible at this. There's so many smart people, they get it, but there's terrible people, right? All right. And what's funny is they come at me and reply to me, that's $10 million, Puerto Rock. I'm like, man, bro, like, the one day you introduce yourself to me, this is how you want to give your first impression. Like, come on, man. You see what I'm saying? So now let's talk about the so what behind this, right? So obviously, the so what behind this is this. 10 million copies is an amazing metric. Period. It's an amazing metric. Okay? Majority of the games don't sell 10 million copies. There's been Call of Duties across all platforms that sold around 15 million. And that's one of the most popular franchises. They sold a total of 15 million, 16 million total. Because, you know, whatever, right? Not every game sells 10 million. Most don't. I think Resident Evil 2 reached 10 million. And Resident Evil 2 is on every platform, right? And it's a very popular franchise that's been around since the PlayStation 1 era. Has movies, shows. I heard the new Netflix show is pretty terrible. But you see what I'm saying? But 10 million is an outstanding metric, especially when it's just on one platform, right? I'm going to give you another. I'm going to show you another one. Not here. I want to give you another metric. Let me show you one more thing. But anyway, the reason why Xbox are the only ones in the community that will bash 10 million sales is because they want to relate it to the install base. It's only 10% install base. Because their message is going to be first party exclusives don't matter. That's the so what. And you see it from here. PlayStation fans do not buy games. That is their so what. PlayStation games don't buy games, yet somehow PlayStation, out of all consoles, sells the most games across first party and third party combined. That's why the platforms sell over 1 billion games every generation. Funny, right? Majority of the multiplats sell best on PlayStation. The first part, the only console that has better first party sales is Nintendo. But their third party sales is nowhere near on the level of PlayStation. PlayStation is a balance of both. Great first party sales, great third party sales. Xbox has nothing. They don't have great third-party sales. Even Microsoft reports that third-party multiplat sales are dropping. So they're even admitting that sales of their third-party is actually reducing from their quarterly reports. So they don't have great third-party sales. They don't have great first-party sales. Xbox doesn't have anything on this conversation. Nintendo don't have great third-party sales, but they have phenomenal first-party sales. Their first party sales is phenomenal, which makes sense, right? Nintendo decided to focus on what they want and the type of entertainment they want to provide to their audience and not really consider third party. You know what I'm saying? Because they're not trying to compete with PlayStation or anybody else with third party. They feel their strength is first party and no one could touch them with their unique content, right? Because really, nobody has an answer to Mario. That's just not going to happen. There is no answer to Metroid. There is no answer to Zelda. There is no answer to Kirby. There is no answer to Super Smash Brothers. The IPs Nintendo makes, no one in the industry can create a direct competitive answer for. That's just not going to happen. You're not going to create an IP that can compete with Nintendo's IP. So for the most part, Nintendo has no threats of people saying, man, Sony created this mascot. I don't need to play Mario no more. That ain't happen. That will never happen across any platform, whatever. Their IPs and their franchises are too great and too big, too powerful. And Nintendo really put their focus on that. And it worked. Right? But their third-party offering is kind of weak because they didn't catering, the majority of third party. A lot of third party don't go. They do get some third party games. They do get some great ones, whatever. But not on the level of Xbox, PC, or PlayStation. They're just not on the same level. But you know what? That's okay. Because Nintendo's primary power and their primary responsibility is their first party. And they're doing a phenomenal job. And then anyone who's willing to work with Nintendo directly with exclusives, Nintendo's able to pull that off. And a lot of those games are good as well. So Nintendo is doing a great job taking care of it. PlayStation does the best of both worlds. They got great, phenomenal first party, right? And a lot of people don't want to admit it until it goes on their platform, right? Because for a while, some PC gamers didn't admit it. But now all of a sudden, once it's on PC, oh my God, this is so great. So PlayStation has great first party. But PlayStation does a phenomenal job of third party. Whether it's multi-plats or timed exclusives for third party or just PC, PlayStation, third party multi-plats. They do a phenomenal job. Both sides of the house sell extremely well, making the brand overall successful. On the Xbox side, they're not doing anything great. They don't have great first-party sales, and they don't have great third-party sales. The best they got is just Game Pass. You see what I'm saying? So they're not doing anything on the other side of the house other than Game Pass, right? And that's what this guy's trying to achieve, and that's what the Xbox fan base is trying to achieve. They're trying to dismiss first-party exclusives simply because Microsoft's not good at it. But here's the funny part. The rest of the community don't buy that bullshit. The only people who buy that bullshit is Xbox gamers in the community, in the brand. Because you have no choice. Because for whatever reason, you want to stay loyal to the brand. You think you're going to convince a PC gamer that first-party exclusives don't matter? That these great exclusives don't matter? You think just games that they can play on PC and third-party games is just it? No. Most PC gamers know exclusives are important. That's why they mess with Nintendo. That's why they mess with PlayStation. PlayStation gamers obviously know first party. And don't even think about talking to a Nintendo gamer and tell them first party is not important. Don't even sit at the table. Xbox gamers won't even dare tag a Nintendo guy and tell him first party is not important. No one has the balls to even try to think that they're gonna back out on that. They're the only ones. And what's funny, and this is the sad part, if you're an Xbox gamer right now, you're thinking, man, Portal Rock be easy. If you're an Xbox gamer and you listen to my channel, this is the serious part of that. These Xbox guys that do that are not helping your brand. If you're an Xbox gamer and you listen to guys like him, they are not helping your brand. Because people who actually will help the brand won't look at, oh snap, Sony only said 10 million and try to pull this arbitrary metric. They will say, Sony just created a new IP that sold over 9 million, almost 10 million. And Sony continues with their franchises that sell 10 million or more. That is the attitude Microsoft needs to have. They need to create games, even though you have Game Pass, but at least create the games that you're trying to reach 10 million sales. Even though they're not going to, because, Game Pass is going to stop that, but at least have that level of pride and ambition. Looking at Sony and be like, oh man, Sony's out there creating these big titles that sell 10 million, 20 million, 30 million blockbusters. Microsoft needs to have that level of detail and oomph with their games. That's how you should look at it, right? Look at it as sports, right? If you're playing sports, right? You're in the league. Baseball, think of your favorite sports. And Xbox is your team. And you're seeing all these teams going to the playoffs, winning championships. You don't look at this team and be like, and create some arbitrary metric to dismiss how they're achieving success. Because if you do that, you're not going to win in the playoffs. You're not going to beat these teams when you come face them in the playoffs. You'll never win a championship. You got to look at what they're doing, how they're farming players, how they're developing players, and see if you could take any keys, and then obviously add some unique stuff to yourself, because the ultimate goal is to be a championship team. You cannot be a championship team and dismiss the playbooks and the strategies that make you a champion. You can't do that. You know what I'm saying? And that's what these guys do. Simply because they're more concerned about talking shit on Twitter than actually developing the product. Because at the end of the day, this Twitter and the YouTube conversations, it doesn't matter. What matters is when you log off and you play this controller, are you playing the big blockbuster titles? Because damage controlling all day on Twitter will not give you the games. We already seen that. It does not. Look at late 2021, how much shit talking Xbox guys were doing, and now 2022 is here. Microsoft left them out to dry. Shit talking does not help. You know, being realistic and seeing the successes. Nintendo successful with their first party. PlayStation successful with the first party. Instead of bashing it and trying to make yourself feel good on the internet, you will use that information and you will look at Microsoft. They don't have to create the same game, but they should have the same attitude and thrive and umph to try to create titles that will be those big blockbuster 10 million plus 20 million sales. Even though they're not going to sell that much because of Game Pass. But the actual ethics and the work and the drive to make these high caliber games that people just want to play, that's what you should be using. You should be saying, like, look at this guy. But instead, Xbox gamers like this, they use there's a saying goes, don't blow out the next man's candle just to make yourself burn brighter. And that's what they're doing. They're not focusing on their own candle and trying to make it burn brighter to keep up with the competition. They're looking at others and be like, and then when they try to blow out the candle, oh, look, my candle's, no, your candle's still the same shitty candle. You just put more effort focusing on other people's candle and trying to dismiss it instead of focusing. Focus on your candle and see how you can make it burn brighter, right? Let me look back on the stream, see if anybody has some comments. All right. This is also something that's interesting. This I don't understand. I don't understand this. So in that same conversation, David Jaffe said his piece on the 10 plus million. He said The Last of Us 2 sold 10 plus million, and Ghost of Tsushima sold 10 million. In my opinion, which is valid, Jim Ryan has to be seriously considering telling ND to keep The Last of Us 3 budget low or bring in the progressive ideas so they don't once again. Or bring in the progressive ideas so they don't once again push away a meaningful percentage of the audience. Am I wrong? So let's start out this. So when he says bring in the progressive ideas, I think he's trying to reel in, like, you know, Abby looking masculine, woke, all this weird stuff, right? Lesbian, kiss, and stuff like that. But the thing is, The Last of Us Part 2 sold as much as The Last of Us when it first came out. The reason why The Last of Us is at 20 million and beyond 10 million is because they re-released the game on the PlayStation 4 as a remaster. So now you had another audience, one, that never owned the PS3, but two, a lot of people rebought the game. I rebought the game. So The Last of Us, let's be honest, the 20 million sales of Last of Us Remake is not 20 million unique users. Lots of people rebought the game. People who bought it on PlayStation 3 bought it on PlayStation 4 for the experience. Now you're about to have The Last One Remake. It was remastered. I'm sorry, remastered on the PlayStation 4. Now you're about to have The Last One Remake, full blown on the PS5. A lot of people who played the PS3, the PS4 are about to play the PS5 version. But the total sales of The Last One is going to go up and up and up, even though it's the same user. So it's not 20 million unique users. It's 20 million sales. And at the end of the day, from Sony's perspective, a sale's a sale. It doesn't matter if it's from the same person. A person buying 3 copies of a game is still $60 per copy or $40. It's still a copy. It's still money. Even if it's coming from the same wallet. It doesn't matter. Whether it's 3 individual users that bought the game individually or 1 user who bought the game 3 times, it is still 3 sales. So dollar value doesn't change for Sony. But the actual people is not 20 million people, you know. But I think they gave the game away free on PSN Plus, so that might change the numbers. It's all weird, right? But the whole point I'm saying is Last of Us 2 sold in line with the first one, 10 plus million. They'll probably remaster The Last of Us 2 on the PS5, and you guarantee that's going to sell blockbusters again. So it's going to go past. It's just how it is, right? But what I find funny is this. It's once again, people don't understand the metric of 10 million. And I'm actually, and I can understand from the gaming community as us, I don't understand from him. Because David Jaffe is different. His is in a different category. And the reason why I say for him, it's on a different category is because he was a game developer. And he created blockbuster hits for PlayStation. He created blockbuster hits for PlayStation. None of his games sold 10 million. So while he can have an opinion about 10 million sales, I don't see how he can look at something that needs to be resolved when he himself never made that barometer. That's what I don't understand. You know, let's say if I was Jim Ryan, and says, in my opinion, Jim Ryan has to be seriously be considered telling Andy to keep whatever. If I was Jim Ryan and if I was that dude, I'd be like, I don't have to consider anything for somebody who never made a game that sold 10 million. Do it first, then we can have the conversation. Sell 10 million, make a 10 million selling games, then we can talk. That would be me. That would be me. It's a good thing I'm not in this game because I would be an asshole. Because I would have replied to that. I'd be like, how about I'm not considering anything for somebody who never made a 10 million selling game. Because to me, you're downplaying Naughty Dog's success. That's how I would take it. Right? Because in the back doors, I could be like, hey, Naughty Dog, congratulations. You did a phenomenal job. I can't wait to whatever. People be like, oh, man, have you read David Jaffe's comment? I'll be like, what did Homeboy say? Oh, read it. And then I would look at the tweet. I'll be like, The Last of Us 2 sold 10 million. Ghost of Tsushima sold 10 million. In my opinion, Jim Ryan has to seriously consider telling Andy to keep The Last of Us 3 budget low or bring in the progressive ideas so they don't once again push away meaningful percent of the audience. Am I wrong? I would be like, oh, this motherfucker want to throw shade so he could gain some traction. You want some attention, don't you? All right? I'll get on Twitter. I'd be like, as president of PlayStation, when it comes to these conversations, I'm only going to consider advice from people that actually made games that sold 10 million. Thank you. Because you're not going to complain on something you ain't do yourself. You see what I'm saying? You see what's crazy? His game, in fact, the first God of War game that actually broke 5 million sales. 5 million. Wasn't even his. It was God of War 3 on the PlayStation 3. So his game was close to 5 million, but didn't sell 5 million. And we're talking on the PlayStation 2, because God of War 1 came out on the PlayStation 2. 150 million sales. You know? So when your game sells less than 5 million among 150 million console install base, and you want to talk about pushing away meaningful percentage of the audience, what are you talking about? The Last of Us sold right in line with the original Last of Us when it launched, right? And it's going to still sell a little bit more, right? We got to stop treating every game as if it's supposed to cater to every single person on the platform. That's not how it works, right? We got to look at video game platforms more like an ice cream shop, like Baskin Robbins. Baskin Robbins has 31 flavors, right? But a lot of those flavors ain't like, I don't care about mint pistachio. In fact, that sounds disgusting. Mint pistachio ice cream? Who eats that? Let me look at this, man. Let me look in the chat. Who here likes mint pistachio milkshake? Go ahead. Type in 1 if you all about that mint pistachio milkshake. Go ahead. I dare you. Go ahead. Go ahead. Let me see this. Shout out to Andrew Wilkins. He says, David Jaffe was on Dito's podcast catering to the idiotic Xbox fanbase by talking smack about Sony. Can't trust him. Of course, he's trying to get users. But who the hell? Type 1. Mint pistachio mass produce, you lying. Yo, I'm about to hit. If you lie about mint pistachio milkshake, I'm hitting the app button. Do not lie. Craig the tech guy, you liar. You're allergic to pistachio. Hey, but now everybody's just being a-holes typing what? You a bunch of liars. Ain't none of y'all like mint pistachio milkshakes. I don't think... Yo. It sounds like mint pistachio. How is that even a combination? Like, who thought of combining mint and pistachio and then put it in an ice cream and then have the nerve to make a milkshake out of it? Bruh, you out your goddamn mind. But somebody likes it. Somebody enjoys it. When they go into Baskin Robbins and they see that mint pistachio ice cream, that is a flavor that caters to them. Me, when it comes to milkshake especially, there's only one flavor for me in milkshake, and that's really chocolate. The only other place that I would choose another flavor, there's a burger joint in America, in the East Coast, in the southern part, called Cookout. Anybody from the South, North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia area, all that? Ever heard of Cookout? They have a milkshake called Strawberry Cheesecake Milkshake. Yo, that is, listen, let me tell you something. A strawberry cheesecake from Cookout, I'm going to tell you now, it's possibly, Michael, he's from North Carolina, Greensboro, so he knows what I'm talking about. Some of you knows what I'm talking about. A strawberry cheesecake milkshake from Cookout. I'm telling you, it's going to be as close to God you will ever get in this life. If you want to know, even have some level of an idea what it's like to sit next to God, you go to Cookout and you get a strawberry cheesecake milkshake. That is as close this world is ever going to provide. Sure, there's Peace Corps, helping the needy, helping. You don't need to do all that. You don't need to volunteer for goodwill. Just simply go to Cookout, say, let me get a strawberry cheesecake milkshake. You can't even use a straw. You have to use a spoon. And you just eat it. So this is what it's like to be around God. And there you go. I'm going to tell you, bro, that's the only place, right? But everywhere else, I get chocolate milkshakes. But hey, somebody wants pistachios, right? Shout out to Tevin Ruff. He says, these type of comments happen when tribal politics meets Xbox fanboyism. Another sad bot. Unbelievable, bro. Jay Hart, he says, tell them to put a video on Twitter drinking it. Yo, drink that mint pistachio. In fact, if you want about that mint pistachio, go on Twitter whenever you can. Next time you get it, make a video about, yo, Puerto Rock, that mint pistachio though, and I want to see you drink it. Yes, I will watch it. I will like it. I will retweet it. Hell, I'll put it on the air and be like, yo, people are real. People like that shit, right? Whatever, you know? But the whole point is, you got all these flavors. And I'm going to be honest. Out of those 31 flavors, I probably personally tasted maybe 5 of them. Vanilla, French vanilla, chocolate, maybe multiple forms of chocolate, but there's not a lot. Majority of the flavors I don't care about. Like cotton candy or sherbet, never tried it. But does that mean, because a lot of the flavors don't cater to the majority of the Baskin Robbins customers, that's a problem? No. You look at gaming as the library. Is there games within the library that caters to the audience? That's the mission. That's the job. The job isn't to make every single game cater to everybody. That's impossible. There are some gamers that only play JRPGs. So you're going to make God of War JRPG-ish? That's what we're going to do here? To attract more JRPG? No, that's not how it works. You know? So this logic doesn't make sense. You know? All right? Of course you want every game to be more successful. Right? But the fundamental idea is build the game to just be great and let the audience come, right? The only thing these gaming companies have to worry about is if the money they invest, did it sell enough to recoup, make profit, and sustain the franchise. That's it. That's the job. The job isn't percentage. If you like it, you like it. If you don't like it, don't buy it. And you move on to another game. Overall, for the audience of us gamers, it's the library. Does the library that's available on the platform, does it have the content where you can look through the library and be like, oh, I like that game? Nah, I don't care. Think about it this way. A lot of gamers love Spider-Man, but there's gamers who don't care about Spider-Man. There's nothing you can do about it. There's gamers who don't like Spider-Man. And Spider-Man's so great. Spider-Man between Miles Morales and the original Spider-Man is 33 million. Phenomenal. But guess what? There's over 100 million PlayStations out there. So that means about 70 million PlayStation gamers, give or take, didn't want to play Spider-Man. They don't care. They don't care about comic book games. They don't want to play comic book games. They don't care about comic book games. Which means they're definitely not going to care about Wolverine. So should we not make Wolverine? Because there's gamers that don't want to play it? No. You play it and create it for the audience that will play it. There's always going to be millions upon millions of gamers that will not play a specific game. It's hard. There's only a few games. Like Minecraft sells like 200 million and GTA. There's only a few games where you could get so much of that. Strictly, when you in North Carolina, I'm taking you to Cookout. What's good, bro? No doubt, Strictly. Yo, that's it. We could chop it up. And you know what I'm saying? Go to Cookout. You know what I'm saying? Just chop it up. My brother Strictly up in here. You know, he's up in the streets doing his thing, man. Thank you for stopping by. All right. Shout out to Rate. He said, only thing that Xbox can get to 10 million is 10 million players that have tried a game for 1 minute on Game Pass. The nerve on these Xbox proposals to talk about sales. For real, bro. I don't even know why they even bother to even participate in that. Gabe, how was that Adobe Pro for dinner the other night? He's Adobo. He said Adobe Pro. Shout out to Gabe. I was talking about Goya adobo seasoning. And he put in a comment, Adobe Pro? I'm like, what? You know? At the end of the day, here's the thing, man. These Xbox guys, they're never going to get it. It's just across the spectrum. And I'm going to be honest, conversations like what David Jaffe's having doesn't help. You know, I think there's more of a push to build your platform or to corporate concubine for a platform, whichever or, rather than, hey, let's make sure gamers have a basic fundamental understanding and knowledge so we can have good conversations, right? And what's funny is these are the same people that want good conversations and tired of the toxicity or just the stupid shit. But they don't realize they prolong the stupid shit themselves. They're not doing their part to educate the community. You see what I'm saying? That's that weirdo shit, right? But anyway, let's go on to the nice good topic. Right? So the actual performance of God of War was released. So obviously, just like the other games, you're gonna have full fidelity 4K, top of line graphics at 30 FPS, and then you'll have your performance mode for those that want 60 FPS for the smooth gameplay. But obviously, it's gonna be like dynamic scaling, upscaling, 1440p, 4K ish, whatever. To hit that 60 frame performance. Dustin Legary, I agree with his comment. Upscale is the only option. Don't at me. I agree. He's trying to say is he's going to play at 60 FPS. Same way. I'm going to look at the 4K fidelity 30 option just to see how it looks and stuff. But I'm going to play at 60 frames. And I'm happy because the game would just look great. I want the smooth performance and stuff like that, right? But of course, the comment section in that thread come back to, PlayStation's not a full native 4K 60 console. Well, neither is Xbox. Because, take for example, Forza Horizon. It's 30 FPS for their 4K. To get down to 60S performance mode, they're going to have to downgrade. They downgrade a lot of assets and stuff like that, right? Both consoles are only $500. You're not going to get the performance of a 3080 or 3090, where those GPUs are more expensive than the console themselves. PlayStation 5 doing a phenomenal job, but of course, this is just another example of Xbox fanboys being triggered. And what's funny, they're the first ones, especially the apologists, these greenies who apologize on behalf of Xbox fans because they're neutral, right? They're the neutral guys, and they're apologists. So these damn greenies, right? They're the first one to complain about toxicity, but then they don't say nothing when the Xbox community starts on their BS, when the platforms know better, right? So that's why I don't pay attention. That's why every time I see these greenies come on my timeline with this neutral, shut up, I don't believe you. Like, you're not fooling me. Or whatever, right? You're not fooling me. You're an Xbox fanboy. You concubine for Xbox. It is what it is. You're not gonna change nobody's mind. We see right through you. It's too obvious, right? But you got a great game that's coming out. Performance. That, you know what's funny? Before the PlayStation 5 came out, that was the number one thing Xbox gamers was like, oh, we need performance options. We need performance options. The consoles come out with performance options. Now they're back to, oh, no, it needs to be native 4K 6. Well, then get a PC and pay the money. Because these consoles are only $500. And technically speaking, the PlayStation is $400 in terms of hardware architecture. Because if you move the disk drive, it's $400. But it's still the same CPU, GPU. It's still the same hardware that runs games. So if you move the disk drive, you're talking about a $400 console performing like this. There is no $400 Xbox next-gen console that does this performance. Because their cheaper model, which is the Series S, is completely weak and underpowered. It's designed for just being... It's the basic bitch. It's designed to be a basic bitch. It's just designed to be... It's really designed to be a cheap way to play Game Pass. It's not there to actually be representative of next generation gaming at the top tier level. You take it there, put it on the same 1080p TV you have, and enjoy Game Pass, and enjoy the longevity of sustaining your Game Pass. That's really what it is, right? Because if you own an Xbox One, Xbox One S, Xbox One X, the shelf life is running out. Because if you're a Game Pass subscriber on Xbox One X or Xbox One S, pretty much Xbox One family, you're not going to get games no more. Because Microsoft first party will not be on those platforms. So you have to buy a new console. But you may not be interested in spending big bucks. You may just want something just to sustain the subscription you're on. So Xbox Series S is the perfect answer. Put it on your 1080p TV, continue to use Game Pass, and play the games that way. And that's really it, right? But I said a while ago, there's going to be unhinged Xbox fanboys in the community. It's going to be bad. And it's only going to get worse as the day gets closer and closer and closer. It's going to get so bad that these guys are purposely going to buy God of War on whichever platform. And they're going to purposely try to find glitches, bugs, terrible angles, everything. Photoshop images so they can start trending negativity on the game. And what's funny is a lot of these neutrals are not going to say a goddamn thing about it. None of them are going to step up to the plate and put their community in check. That's just how it is, bro. That shit's just crazy. That shit's just crazy, bro. Hey, hit the like button if you don't mind. I truly appreciate you guys rocking out. Hit the like button. Shout out to my 60 Frames No Lag family who are members to the channel. Thank you so much for rocking through. Good things are coming for y'all. We're going to do good things, good big things. We got almost 300 viewers. Truly appreciate you guys. What's the next topic I promised you? Oh, PS5 VRR, right? That's the thing? Where's my shit at? Hold on. So we got this out the way. Here we go. So let's talk about this right here. This is including God of War. Right? So I made this tweet because, again, there was already a heads up that Ragnarok will support 4K 30 FPS as well as dynamic 4K 60. So that was already in the works, and Sony officially invited, right? But I made a tweet saying that the only issue I have is why not provide the VR update advantages day one. I understand Forbidden West and games released before VR, but games after VR updates should have those updates day one. And what I'm talking about is not just because when people think of VR, we're going to talk about that guy too. But when we think of VR, right, we're just thinking about, not lock 60, you're running at 55 frames and VR smooths it out. I'm not talking about that because Sony has done a phenomenal job of not doing that. Like when it's 4K 30, it's 4K 30. When it's 4K 60, it's 4K 60. They have done a phenomenal job of maintaining frame rates where VR is not an issue. But when Sony introduced the VR update, they added a level of enhancements to games that are phenomenal. It's more than just smoothing out the thing. Because again, the frame rates were already smooth. It was like, for example, Miles Morales, it unlocked the game, right? So now, if you had VRR and a HDMI 2.1 compatible TV, Miles Morales will get unlocked frame rates and just let the system do what it can. At the fidelity mode, the game was running in the upper 50s, like 55, maybe close to 60, range at full fidelity 4K with ray tracing. Obviously, VR will smooth it out. So you will be playing Miles Morales at a smooth out 55 frames with VR, smooth it out, which is much better, in my opinion, than performance mode with ray tracing. Because performance mode, they will drop down a lot of assets 1080p, a lot of assets will get dropped down. The population will be low. If you play in performance over AT, you see the city's kind of empty. Not bad, and not noticeable because you're mostly flying throughout the city anyway. But if you look for it or you stay low to the ground, you will notice that the population is a lot less compared to full fidelity 4K, right? The fidelity mode. Now you get to play fidelity mode at above 30 frames in the 50s, and because VRR is still a smooth experience, it's an amazing experience, right? If you still opted for the performance mode in ray tracing, it will be in the hundreds. You got performance ray tracing mode in Miles Morales, 100 plus frames. That is incredible. That experience is amazing. They provided the same similar experience for Zero Dawn, right? And that's an incredible experience for those that were experienced. The issue I was presenting, that I was talking about, is that God of War comes out after the VR update. So the games that came out before the VR update, like Horizon, Forbidden West, Miles Morales, Rift Apart, I get it. VR update wasn't out, wasn't on the console. They were still working at it. They were probably still working on bugs, whatever. But now they officially unveiled the VRR. The game's caught up. They added the patches, right? Cool. I'm assuming while God of War was being developed, Sony Santa Monica knew about this VR update too. It's not like they were left in the dark. So in my opinion, they should have been working it in. So that way when the game launches, it's included day one, right? I give kudos to Sony for providing these updates. Then they're working hard and they're enhancing the experience, right? But most people are not going to play them because they already played the game, they already beat it, and they want to move on to the next game to get new experience, right? Some people will go back and enjoy the performance mode, but a lot won't, right? A lot won't replay the whole game to enjoy these performance mode. They'll probably wait years or whatever, right? My discussion was, when do we start seeing these updates become standard day one, right? Now, there's a couple of arguments. The first argument for God of War was people telling me, well, it could potentially delay the game. So I'm going to give God of War a pass. I'm going to be fair. I'm going to give God of War a pass. Because you're right. There could be situations where it's still not fully fleshed out. It could potentially delay the game. So I will agree to that statement. In order to ensure the game comes out in November, they had to focus and prioritize. This wasn't a priority, because if they did make this priority, we might not see the game until next year. So I will give Sony a pass, because I will give God of War especially a pass, right? So I will do that. But the one thing I did not agree with was people telling me, well, only 1% or 2% have VR capable TVs or stuff like that. That I don't agree with. I'm not buying that BS. There ain't nobody in the world that's going to convince me that that's a legit excuse. And I'm going to tell you why. I was provided information by Sony on what the PS5 is capable and what it will be capable of. Sony provided this information. Based on the information that they provided, saying, hey, the PS5 will be able to do these things, but this is what you need to have in order to use it. So I'm like, okay, Sony, you're making a console, and specifically it's going to have VR, and a lot of the features you need HDMI 2.1 compliant TVs. So I said, cool, Sony, your console's doing this. I'm going to buy a TV that meets the parameters of the product you're making and your advertising that's going to do. So I went out and bought a Samsung Q80T. It has HDMI compliant. It had VRR, right? I had it all day one. Now I'm just waiting for Sony to catch up. Sony now caught up. It has the capability. The console has the capability. VR, it has it now. Now you're telling me that it's okay for Sony not to add these updates or whatever because other people decided not to buy a TV. They decided to stay with their 1080p TV or just buy a 4K that's still HDMI 2.0. So my ability to enjoy the capabilities that Sony advertised for their console and the TV I bought combined is relying on the people who didn't buy the TV. Hell no. Hell no. What I get out of my product that's advertised and told that it can do, and the company said this is what you need to have in order to use it, and I do it, I buy the TV, that can't be accomplished because the focus is the people who decided not to do it. So the lack of money people spent dictates and has precedence over the people that did spend the money. And the funny part is this: if Sony puts these features day one on these games, it doesn't impact the rest of the gamers. They just don't get to use it, but they still get to play the game. You know? But if we listen to the gamers that don't have this stuff, that impacts me. Because I don't have these features. I won't have these advanced features that fully utilize my TV and the console I own. People are still content with the basic stuff. So no. That's not a thing for me. Shout out to Strictly Gaming. He says, when cross-gen isn't a thing, I think we get VR and all bells and whistles day one. Another reason I'm ready to move from PS4. I get it from a business perspective, but as a gamer, PS4 got to go. Truly agree. That's why I'm going to give this game a pass, because somebody did say, hey, Puerto Rock, remember, it's still a cross-gen game. So I'm going to give this game a pass. I'm cool with giving this one last pass. We'll see how Spider-Man 2 is. You know, Insomniac advertises PS5 only. We're gonna see how these PS5 only get. And I gave Rift Apart a pass because yes, Rift Apart, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart is a next gen. It's not a cross-gen game, but it came out in 2001 before the VR update. That's why I said I'll give these games a pass, right? But 2023, when do we hold Sony accountable, right? Now, some people try to say the angle, oh, Sony does a nice thing for us, and now we expect it as standard. I don't agree with that argument either, because they're not doing nice things for us. Sony is the one that raised the price to $70, because they're telling us they're working hard, adding new things, and they got to put in the work. So I don't see this as doing a nice thing. I see this as you're earning your $70. We can't go defend the $70 price point, but not push for $70 work. You want these games to be $70? Then put in the work. Because it can't just be simply 4K and 60 frames. That's not $70. Because 4K 60 frames has been done a long time ago. 4K 60 frames has been done a long time ago. Upscaled 4K 60 frames, you know, maybe not on console, but PC's been doing it for a long time. It's been there for a while. So that's not it. $70, something's happening in the $70 gaming spectrum that's like, all right, what's really happening? And it can't just be resolution, right? It's this stuff that I see. The VRR, the performance enhancements and stuff like that. That's what I see, that $70. And I'm cool with that. But I need it day one. Because I'm not going to get every single Sony first party game that I choose to buy and that these enhance, and I experience it at the default 4K or performance, and then 8 months later they release the VR update. I'm not going to keep going back to these games every single time because there's a lot of games I want to play. You know? If that's Sony's model, right, that just makes me not want to buy the games day one. Right? Because if Sony has this, if Sony adopts the model of we'll just release the game and we'll update it 5 or 6 months later, then I'm just going to wait 5-6 months later. Because I want to experience these games with the bells and whistles that the PS5 has to offer. You know, I want the bells and whistles. You created a console. Now, some people argued, well, are you going to hold third party to the standard? I will tell you, no. I will not hold third party to the standard. And it's not because of hypocrisy. It's because EA didn't sell me the PS5. EA at no point told me to go buy a PS5. EA at no point advertised what the PS5 can do. Neither the Ubisoft, Capcom, Square Enix. None of them do. None of the multi-plat developers, third-party developers, told me what the PS5 can do. They co-sign what Sony does, but it's Sony that advertised it. So if it's your console and you advertised it, you're the responsible. Your first party. I'm holding you responsible. If I'm worrying about playing the best performance, ray tracing, smoothest frame rates and all that stuff. For third party, I go to PC. That's well known for that. If I want that, if I want the best third party experience, I know where to go. But Sony said we're gonna do these things, and I'm not even expecting Sony to create the best performing games of all time or outperform PC. I just holding them to what they sold me. That's it. I just wanna get what I paid for. You said I get this, I just want it. But I don't want to 8 months later for every single game, because I want to experience, like for example, we'll use Spider-Man 2. If Spider-Man 2 comes out, I want to play the game day one as I'm experiencing it brand new with the same performance that Miles Morales got updated with. That means 4K at 55 frames, native fidelity, with VRR unlocked at 55 frames, and VR smooths it out. I want to play it that way. I want that mode. I want to play Spider-Man in the 55 plus frame rate smooth out by VR at full fidelity. I would choose that over the ray tracing performance. And that's going to give it amazing, because it's going to feel great and smooth. You know, if Spider-Man 2 releases at 4K 30 and ray tracing at 60, and then 8 months later they do ray tracing at 100 frames, I'm like, man, you the very best of what Spider-Man could be, you're cheaping us out. And you know, so how long do we hold Sony accountable that no, you need to release the stuff day one? Like, this is your console, man. It's got to be a beast. Let me see. Shout out to Just a Guy. He says Jim Ryan is only human. I agree, but that human being drives a Maserati. Jim Ryan drives a Maserati, bro. He has a private jet. So don't feel sorry for Jim Ryan. He drives a jet. Okay? He drives a jet. Do you drive it? You have a private jet? I don't got a private jet. The money you give him helps him drive a private jet. His kids go to private school. You understand what I'm saying? You want to make big... He makes millions of dollars. He's a millionaire. He makes millions. So don't feel sorry for him. You know, you want to make millions? Do $1 million things. Chris B, wait, doesn't setting VR in the console enable on all games? It's just games can have targeted VR features and testing. So I'm not talking about VR just to smooth out the frame rate. Let's say like Elden Ring. Elden Ring runs like at 55 frames. I heard it's not locked 60, whatever. I'm not talking about that, where it just makes these games that target 60 but aren't 60, or target 30 aren't 30, and VR makes it better, smoother experience. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like the Miles Morales update, the Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart update, the recent Horizon Forbidden West update, where they unlock the frame rates, right? Or they do something. Like, for example, Horizon Forbidden West, because of VR, they now have fidelity mode. Instead of 4K 30, it's 4K 45, right? Miles Morales, instead of 4K 30, it's now running around 4K native fidelity with ray tracing around 55-ish frames. So they almost doubled their frame rates, just under 60. But obviously VR, it smooths it out, you know, in line with the TV. So you see what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. I'm not just simply talking about, like, Elden Ring has, you know, frame rates issues, and VR smooths that out. So I'm not talking about that. Just a Guy, can you run a gaming platform, P-Rock? I don't think so. Can I run a... No, you're right. I can't run a gaming platform. I'm not a business company. You're right. You're absolutely right. But I am a consumer. My money. My money. Sony's only as strong as the people willing to buy their products. You understand what I'm saying? So my advice, Just a Guy, don't ever feel sorry for a corporation. Because at any point, remember, Just a Guy, this is a corporation that's putting huge investments in online service game, something you don't like. You don't like online service game, right? You think Sony's like, you know, but Just a Guy and gamers like Just a Guy don't really like this. Nah, they don't give a fuck. If Sony one day says, you know what, we stopping making single player games and we're going to focus on live service game, they'll do that. And if you don't like it, oh well. As long as they bring in the checks, it is what it is. You see what I'm saying? And stuff like that. All right. Also, COVID exists. Don't be selfish, bro. At a certain point, you know, let me tell you something. You're right, COVID exists. But if America told me, hey, Puerto Rock, we're going to war, COVID or not, you think I won't answer up the call? Again, just a guy, do not feel sorry for a company because they don't feel sorry for you. Again, is your kids going to private school? Can you right now hop on a private jet and go to Hawaii? Can you? Reflect on that. You know? There's a difference between appreciating a platform that provides great entertainment and being a corporate defender. Don't do that, just a guy. Respect gaming. Appreciate the thing that gaming has to offer. But always demand that corporate and the workers of the industry provide what you're paying for. Because make no mistake, when you give them your money, they're living off that. And they don't care what financial situation you're in. J-Hart, you need to consider my man, who could spend 2 weeks, off the coast of Milan, just chilling. My man said, I'm just trolling, bro. I agree with you 100%. Man, fuck you, just a guy. Got me out here. Yo, you have me nervous. I'm like, God damn, just a guy sounding like a fucking X-Bot right now. I was like, I was nervous. I'm like, fuck, bro. Like, God damn, you're killing yourself, man. Like, God damn it. Like, stop it, bro. But it's just a thing. Listen, man. Come on, man. You guys know that when I do criticism for PlayStation, it isn't to cloud chase. It doesn't make sense to cloud chase, But always protect your self-interest and stuff like that, right? And when you listen to my argument, right? If you listen to my point, right? It ain't simply to back, because Lord knows I'm not just saying this to make Xbox look good, right? Like, oh, Puerto Rock is talking bullshit. Luca Super Chat. Where's my girl? Was Luca up in here? Did I miss it? Oh no, I cannot miss my sister from another mister. Oh my God, Luca up in here. Okay, hold on, Luca, sister from another mister. She said, why did I click out of the screen? I must have Destin muted or something, because I never seen his stuff on my timeline. Wild. He decided to go the Xbox route when he's a PC dude, from what I recall. Yeah, oh my God. Like, Luca, this dude went full Xbox. I'm gonna be honest. It's a good strategy. I'm not even playing, right? It's a good strategy if you want to build your platform, gain an audience, and start making money. It is. I'm going to be totally 100% honest, right? The Xbox community on Twitter, the small community, I'm not talking about Xbox gamers across the spectrum. I'm talking about those who are heavily involved in social media, YouTube, podcasts, the whole shebang. They are such in need of being around positive people who just talk great about Xbox, because the platform itself doesn't speak about greatness. So they need people to do it on Microsoft's behalf. Look at 2022. If we were to be honest and objective, Xbox in 2022 is not a great platform. Microsoft has done a terrible job of the platform. Pepper Pig, Power Wash, all these other indies, whatever, is not it, right? We need powerful impact, powerful things, powerful content for 2022. Microsoft has not done that. So from a Microsoft stance, there is nothing worth talking about for Xbox. But you want somebody to talk about Xbox. You want need somebody to find a way to say something good about this brand. Some people for some reason need that. They need that validation. Weird? I don't understand. Because to me, at the end of the day, if a console ain't got no goddamn games, I don't care what somebody says on the internet. I'm gonna be like, this motherfucker got no games. And I'm not talking about, I will prove to it. I lived that life. When PlayStation 4 came out, I didn't buy it at launch. In fact, I didn't buy the PlayStation 4 till 2015. Almost 2 years after its launch. I don't give a goddamn what PlayStation gamer was trying to tell me. Oh, we got games. We got Tropical Fire. No, bro, I ain't stupid. I know what's going to happen when I put that PlayStation 4 in 2014 under my TV. I'm barely going to play it. I know this. The words in the comments from people on podcasts, Twitter is not going to change reality. I know. I've been gaming for decades. I know gaming. Right? So there's no way people can trick me into getting a platform that I know don't really have the games. So I just didn't buy it. 2015 Bloodborne came out. I saw Sony's plan. Now I'm like, now's the time to do it. Right? So all this validation on Twitter is not real. Because when you log off and you play the console, you're going to be like, God damn, I'm playing Dungeon Boyfriend. Shit. There's nothing else for me to do. You know? It's like, or you could say backlog, cool. But that's not 2022. That's just you catching up on stuff, right? So the brand needs some validation. It needs some people to just like talk. That's why like Acquisition is such a big thing. Hey guys, remember Activision Acquisition, the FTC deal is almost done. They're literally talking about that potentially the FTC is going to approve. That's what it's come down to on Xbox. FTC deals. That's crazy. They need validation. So from a platform content creator, it's a great strategy. You know, cater to the emotions of these guys and they're going to follow you. Shout out to my sister. Just the guy, P-Rock, don't lie. I trolled the hell out of you. Yeah, you did. You telling me you really didn't remember those quotes from the dudes? Keep buying that's her chick. You got me, bro. Just the guy, you caught me good, bro. You caught me good. Like, I was nervous, bro. I was like, oh, shit, just the guy, what are we doing here? Like, this good, like, listen, rarely do I get trolled, but god damn, you caught me lovely. I was like, oh, shit. My man's going in that pool, bro. Like, you got the green Xbox pool. My man jumped into the blueberry pool. He's just swimming in blueberry Kool-Aid. My man's out here like, I'm blue, yabba yabba dow, yabba. I'm like, oh, I didn't know what to do. I was like, oh, man, this is, this guy, oh, like, goddamn, you got me sweating. I was like, goddamn, just a guy. Oh, man, what are we doing here? And I was trying to be nice, trying to help you. I'm like, yo, come on, see the light. Bro, my man's like, yabba dee, yabba dow, yabba dee, I'm blue. He's like, my man, Jim Ryan. Feel bad for him while Jim Ryan is up there in a mansion and we on the welfare line. You know what I'm saying? Like, god damn, bro. Like, we in America, like, getting all fucked up and shit, man. I was like, god damn, just a guy. I was like, fuck. I was like, you got me sweating. I'm like, shit, somebody fucking bring the fan up in here. I'm like, god damn, this guy. Woo! You caught me good, bro. You caught me. I was about to hit the ad button. I'm like, man, I need an intermission. Hit this ad for the next 3 minutes. Hopefully people will forget. Yo, hit the like button. Oh, no. I forgot about, it's true, Puerto Rock. You should have caught it at Jim Ryan's Only Human. You're absolutely right, because I completely forgot about the Xbox influencer with Phil's Only Human. You gave the clues, but, yo, you caught me good. You absolutely caught me good on that one. Not gonna lie. Not gonna let that one. You did call. You caught me anyway. But let's see where. Oh yeah, did I share the screen? Oh yeah, let me share the screen. So this was the tweet. I'm sorry. So this was the tweet I was talking about. Ultimately, God of War I'm buying day one. It's gonna be great, but I hope Sony really consider that they implement these great features day one. I think, listen, it's only going to make the brand stronger. Right? Even if you don't have VR, but the people that do, it's going to talk about it. They're going to rave about how great these games are running the day they play it at the start. It's only going to make the band better. It's only going to make the PlayStation 5 more worth it. And I honestly think that if they put that day one, it's going to convince more people to invest in that. Because if you want people, not even you want, but if people are gonna invest in a HDMI 2.1 TV and stuff like that, they need content to justify it, And if they start seeing, man, these PlayStation first party games with VR and HDMI 2.1 have these games running at their best as compared to without it, you know what? I'm gonna invest in TV. I'm gonna get and play these games day one at the best possible capabilities the console can do. So I'm hoping that Sony really consider that they do that. You know what I'm saying? That's my point, right? I'm missing something. The next topic I want to talk about, let me look. Let me look. Man, fucking just a guy. He caught me lovely with that bullshit. My man, you caught me. I ain't gonna lie. Good shit, just a guy. Good shit, bro. And that is true. I should have noticed with He's Only Human. I completely, golly, I forgot about that nonsense with just you know, Bungie acquisition. We'll talk about that, and then Microsoft partners with Netflix. So those are the next two. So we'll start with the Bungie acquisition. What does it mean for us? What does it mean for the PlayStation gamer, right? Besides shit talking, the reality is, based on the information that we got, Bungie is there as subject matter expertise to help out Sony's strategy with these online service games. The short way of saying it is Sony doesn't want to release games that suck. They want to release good quality online experiences. And I know there's a fear, I have it, of single player, because there's potential that online service game makes dramatically more money than single player games. That's a thing, right? And because the amount of money it makes, it starts shifting focus, and that's what I'm nervous about. The shift in focus. I am hoping Sony still maintains that great balance. If they do end up creating great online multiplayer games, they still make great online single player content and just cater to everybody. That's the perfect scenario. The balance of both. JFK TV. If Spider-Man 2 Collector's Edition don't have physicals, I might write Jim Ryan a letter. Digital consoles be damned. Let's talk about that. I think you might want to give up digital collector's edition with physical discs. I think those days are over. Now that you have digital consoles, they're just going to make one collector's editions that caters to both platforms. And they're just going to give you a digital code. I think physical discs, in collector's editions over. I think you just have to buy the disc separately and do your own little thing. It's sad. I know, brother. I wish digital consoles change the face of things, right? And speaking of collector's edition, the Jotunar and all those things are sold out within like 15 minutes or whatever. That's crazy. I think it's what, $260 or something like that. And it's sold out, man. I was still on the fence line, but now it doesn't matter because it's sold out. And they want to talk about $70 games. Listen, man, PlayStation Nation, we buy games. As long as they're quality, that's all good. Screw what everybody else says, right? But that's incredible. But, whoo, Spider-Man Collector's Edition. I wonder what they're going to do, man. I was this close to buying the God of War because it was really nice. But it don't matter now because that thing is gone, right? It's gone, right? But with the Bungie acquisition, back to Bungie.
Where's my headphones?
Let's see, who's this? Oh, we got just a guy here. My man trying to out here on his bullshit. You got me nervous. I'm gonna let you know. My headphones? Wait, what happened?
I keep laughing with. I'm not laughing at you.
Oh shit! This guy comes on my podcast, and we're hearing his.
Yo, you're up. What up, man?
Oh, yo, what up? What's going on, brother?
Yeah, I can't believe you missed it, man.
I missed. Hey, I just listen, man. You have people that can't even read a tweet over $. So this week's been pretty rough with gamers. I like every day is a new day where people show me they didn't pass third grade, right? So when you start doing that, I completely forgot about He's Only Human. I did not put two and two together at all. All I saw was like, oh man, don't do this, bro. Just like log off, take a break, go to church. It's Sunday. Just do something. Don't do this. Just a guy.
Yo, P-Rock, I was in McDonald's just dying. Like, yo, he just missed it.
I completely missed it. I'm like, oh man, I'm thinking my man is about to go on his corporate defense. My man got his shark skin suit. He about to take up the cause for Sony. I'm like, don't do this, bro. You're not gonna win, man.
But then, I don't have Twitter, but I've been around long enough to know how fucked up like it gets with the console war and stuff. I've heard some stupid shit. You know me.
All right. Okay, you did catch me, but that's cool. All right. But let me just run up these topics and just close out the show. But with Bungie, I want to make sure, I want to help my part and set expectations, because they did say Bungie is still going to make all their games on Xbox, so you could forget about any of the games being exclusive. The fundamental relationship is, for Bungie, they now have a powerful publisher that not only provides the fundings to make their games, but also they have a better working relationship, right? Because Bungie, it started out with Microsoft. They wanted to do their own thing, but Microsoft's like, nah, you doing Halo. So that's soured the relationship, where ultimately Bungie left. They go with Activision. They have the backing, but once again, you know how Activision is, right? And Bungie's like, nah, we're not feeling this either. So they left. They went on their own. They were successful on their own. But the thing about going on your own without a publisher, all it takes is one major flop, and you're done. That's it. Your company's gone. The game you worked on is gone. There's no going back. It's over. Unless you could get a loan or something to survive, you could be one major financial flop away from just ending it. While if you fall under a major publisher that has more money, more wealth, you can like survive, right? So being on the PlayStation, they get that. So they get the protection of having access to more money, but they'll have something that they didn't have with the other two publishers. With Microsoft and Activision, is an actual publisher that understands vision, what they want to do, creativity, the support behind that creativity. And Bungie is really looking forward, and they're really enjoying that relationship with PlayStation. They trust PlayStation with that relationship. On the PlayStation side, they're not looking for these individual Bungie games to push console sales or create exclusives. What they want something bigger. They want Bungie, their talent on creating great multiplayer, and they've done it twice already. They've done it with Halo, now they've done it with Destiny, so they clearly know what they're doing. They want to tap in to that knowledge, and have them supervise, guide, advise, whatever, how the relationship works, to look at Sony's other strategies for live service games, and Bungie could help pitch in and be like, all right, what you have planned for this might not work. You might want to do this. You might want to do that. You might want to add this. You might want to go in this direction. So they're kind of like, how would you say, the quality control, not in terms of game mechanics, but the overall idea of what Sony's trying to do with live service games, right? So they're helping studios who are jumping into their first, creating new IPs and new live service games, and Bungie's kind of helping them, try to create a more successful title to be more successful on the platform. And I think Sony sees that as a big advantage, because let's say Bungie's new IP, that's just one game. But if Bungie, with their talent, they talk to these developers that are creating 10 live service games, that's 10 exclusives that could potentially be great from the PlayStation platform. And that's what Sony's ultimately looking for. And that's, for the PlayStation gamer, we're going to get out of this. For those who are interested in multiplayer, you could probably reasonably see that the games that Sony's going to release in terms of multiplayer and online and service are be better quality and more successful. They got to do it. It is, regardless of how I feel, they have to cater to that audience that wants multiplayer games and stuff. But now they're putting serious effort into what they're doing, right? What do you think, Justin?
Yeah,
I know you're not into live service games, but
yeah, I'm not really into them, but I do really think Sony needs a bit to make a bigger push towards adding PvP in their games. I think that's their weak suit right now.
Yeah.
So I would love if Naughty Dog and Bungie did something where maybe after Bungie finishes with their multi-plat that they're gonna put on Xbox and PC, they work with Naughty Dog and make a rival to Battlefield, where they think of the Last of Us factions, but it's a battle royale, and there's tanks and there's motorcycles, and the ring could be the infected zombies.
Okay.
I think that would be really cool.
Okay. Or something, what would be another one? Let's say if Days Gone 2 ever comes back, right? That would have a good multiplayer world, because that world is great to have their own online universe. Because the world, I think, is phenomenal. The gangs, the factions, and stuff like that. How open it is, vehicles. I think that would be kind of like a better counter to State of Decay. How Microsoft got State of Decay? I think Days Gone will be a better online potentially be a better online, post-apocalyptic zombie world, for that matter.
Okay. And it doesn't have to be The Last of Us. It could be anything really. But I just feel like they already have a really strong base with factions mode because people don't play it to this day.
So that's good. So that's what I want to say. So ultimately, I want to end off with, I get the shit talking, but if you see PlayStation gamers who seriously think Bungie is going to start creating exclusives, you could pretty much tell them, nah, that's not the relationship Sony created. Let's not misinform the community. Let them know that Bungie is still going to make games day one on Xbox, PC, all over.
They said that when they got acquired, though.
What?
Yeah. But they first got acquired, they said that. They said they were going to stay multiplayer.
Exactly. They said that, but people are still creating... because the thing is, not everybody read Bungie's direct statement. So you got people who are making assumptions. They put it on Twitter. Somebody else reads it, and they read it as fact. And then that's how the misinformation spreads through social media. So if you catch it, let them know, nah, that's not happening. Bungie already said, because this is what happens. Bungie made the official statement, hey, the game's is multiplayer. But they're going to tweet out something pertaining to Bungie making an exclusive for PlayStation. Somebody in the comment section is going to read that. Then they're going to say, oh, Bungie's making exclusives. That tweet or that information is going to spread. And then when Bungie's next game comes out as multiplayer, they're going to blame Sony. And Sony's going to get all this negative feedback on something that was never going to happen in the first place. And that's how social media works. So that's what I say. Yeah, we just need to cut out any conversation in the PlayStation community that's like, nah, I did that. Bungie's game is multiplayer. That's not the focus for Sony. That's not the reason why they got them. The next thing I want to mention, I think I messed up. Fuck. Is, give me a second. Is, what was it? It's Microsoft and the Netflix partnership, right? I think that's the next thing on the topic. So let me share my screen. Give me a second. I will share my screen. Give me one second.
They're always doing something that got nothing to do with games.
But this is, I would say this is Microsoft, not Xbox. So this is, Microsoft's a big corporation. So not everything, majority of what they do is not gaming. Gaming is actually a small part of Microsoft. I think people forget about that. It's because we're gamers, and that's all we really care about. We forget that gaming is actually a small portion of overall Microsoft. Microsoft has other divisions. Hell, Azure and cloud compute is their biggest moneymaker. So we completely forget about that, right? But there's a reason why I'm talking about this topic. Let me pull it up right. Okay, I found it. Let me share my screen. And let me go back to it. Okay, so Netflix to partner with Microsoft on new ad-supported subscription plan. So Microsoft has a division that deals with ads and stuff like that. You probably see on their Microsoft Edge browser and all that weird shit. But it says, and this is straight on Netflix website. It says, in April, we announced that we will introduce a new lower price ad-supported subscription plan for consumers, in addition to our existing ad-free basic standard premium plan. So a couple of months ago, this whole conundrum with Netflix losing money, whatever. Too many people have login information across the world, so they're trying to crack down on that. But one of the things says that they want to introduce a cheaper option for people who find the price of the current model that they have of standard, basic, and premium too expensive. They'll create an even more cheaper subscription plan, but that plan is going to have ads, to compensate. Today, we are pleased to announce that we have selected Microsoft as our global advertising technology and sales partner. So this is about the technology behind advertising and sales and stuff like that, right? So this isn't gaming or Xbox. This is a specific portion of Microsoft. Microsoft has proven the ability to support all our advertising needs as we work together to build a new ad-supported offering. More importantly, Microsoft offered the flexibility to innovate over time on both the technology and sell side, as well as strong privacy protections for our members. It's very early days, and we have much to work through, but our long-term goal is clear. More choice for consumers and an ad premium better than linear TV brand experience for advertisers. We're excited to work with Microsoft as we bring this new service to life. Here is what Mikhail Parakin, president of Web Experience, Microsoft said today. We're probably not going to read that, right? So this is it, right? So why am I bringing this up? I'm bringing this up because, and this is just me going out of the box, but I said this to myself. When I saw, I'm going to use Amazon. When I saw what Amazon did, they created their own gaming service called Luna. And what they did was they created it, they've developed it. Luna's no different than Game Pass or whatever, but it's only cloud, where you have access to a library of games that you play over the cloud for a subscription fee, right? But what they did was they merged it with Amazon Prime. So all I got to do is just get a Bluetooth controller and I could start playing Amazon Luna games. So technically, Amazon Luna is already backed by X amount of Prime members. So whatever Prime members they are, they already have access to Luna. So what if Microsoft, in their role of joining Netflix, they could take Netflix partnership to the next level, maybe outright acquire Netflix, right? And now have they have over 200 million subscribers, and then automatically insert Game Pass. So if you're a Netflix subscriber, you automatically have access to Game Pass Cloud, just the cloud portion. Not even Game Pass console, meaning, hey, you could play on a console, whatever. No, they make a unique Game Pass service that is just cloud, right? And they restrict.
I don't think that's gonna work because I really feel like there's lots of people that watch Netflix that don't play games, and there's lots of people that play games that don't watch Netflix. So I don't think some people will cross over undoubtedly, but most likely it's not gonna make some sort of huge difference where Game Pass is gonna go from 25 million to 50 million.
Well, here's the thing: Netflix has 200 million subscribers, right? If only 10% are interested in this, that's 20 million subscribers with a snap of a finger. If only 10%, or 10%, boom, you just doubled Game Pass right now with just 10%. Boom, with a snap of a finger. Like if you present it and you tell all 20 million members, hey, you got Game Pass, do what you want with it, and 10% of Netflix subscribers be like, oh, I'll try it out, fuck it, I already have it. Boom, you just got 20 million members. Doubled it. So you can easily get 20 million members with a small percentage of Netflix subscribers. It doesn't take much.
Yeah, but what they're looking for in Game Pass is like 200, like Netflix has 200, 300 million. I don't think that's gonna get them to it. It'll help, but it's not gonna. But
that's my point. It's help. It's not the strategy. It's just a strategy to gain access to a huge number of people. That's what I'm saying. It's not, yeah, you're right. This is not going to officially get 200 million people to play on it. But if a small percentage of Netflix subscribers say, oh, shit, I could play this game, let me try it out. And it's just 10%, a small percentage, 20 million. That's 20 million subscribers that, boom, instantly now are on the Game Pass platform. Same thing with phones. And that's the thing. That's how you gain lots of subscribers. You have to spread the service and try to push it out to many areas as much as possible.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So I could.
But P-Rock, think about it. Game Pass is already on Xbox, which has Xbox One. I'm gonna say around 50 million. Xbox 360. Xbox 360 doesn't count. My bad. So just the Xbox One and the new Xbox Series. I'd say maybe 60 million, right? Mm-hmm. That's a fair number. They're already on PC, and there's hundreds of millions of PCs that have access to this. They're already on phones. They're spread so thin, and they're at 25 million.
Yeah.
So while I don't disagree that this is gonna help Game Pass, I don't think that this is what they need to really start pumping those numbers up. Is like they need games like a God of War, a Ghost of Tsushima, even a game like Sifu. I'm playing Sifu right now. If games like that were dropping every 2 months on Game Pass, that would help. But until that happens, they will live and die by their first party.
Yeah. Well, obviously they need games. I don't think, other than Xbox guys, in order to push an idea, especially in gaming, you need the games. So we all know that, right? But for subscription models, you need availability. It's got to be available in every way possible, whatever. And it's not just, Netflix does the reverse. I remember on PlayStation, like if you sign up for PlayStation Plus, you got Netflix for like a month or 2 months. Or if you sign up with I think T-Mobile, you sign up with T-Mobile, you get a year subscription to Disney Plus. So it's not like, so everyone does that. Everyone has a gateway into a consumer base through another product. I can't remember if it's Disney Plus, but I know T-Mobile. I think if you sign up for T-Mobile, you get access to Spotify. PlayStation has that. PlayStation Plus, you sign up for PlayStation Plus, you get access to Spotify. You see what I'm saying? Even though Spotify is available on phones, is available on computers, is directly available on consoles, you can play it on a watch, you can play it anywhere, right? But Spotify still associated themselves with, hey, sign up for PlayStation, you get Spotify, even though you're not separately. You see what I'm saying? So everyone tries to find...
We're not disagreeing.
Yeah, do you see what I'm saying? So everybody uses other people's audience to try to push their own brand, even though they're on the same devices, because it's like advertisement in a way, right? So think about how many people on Netflix don't even know shit about Xbox, don't even care about Game Pass. They're PlayStation fans or they're PC fans, but they really don't know Game Pass, and they're not willing to put in the time to learn. They just don't give a shit. But now they're on Netflix, which is what they like, and then all of a sudden you start seeing these ads of, oh shit, Game Pass on Netflix, and I have it already. I can already use it. All right, let me see what this is about, because you push it. You see what I'm saying? And that's what Amazon did. Amazon just put Luna on their stuff, and now you got Amazon. I didn't say it's big. I'm just saying there's more people now. Even my wife noticed it. She's like, wait a minute, babe, you can play video games on Amazon now? I'm like, yeah, I already knew that. And it's trash because it's cloud gaming. but in her mind, she thought it was cool, and she's thinking, oh shit, you could, so now and the reason why she brought up, because she knows if I ever went on trips for work, I would go on temporary assigned duty, go somewhere, stay in a hotel, I would always bring my console. Her thought was, well, babe, now you don't have to bring your console because Amazon has games. You just log on and you just play games with your Fire Stick. And I'm like, oh, hell nah. Ain't no fucking way I'm playing cloud gaming on the hotel Wi-Fi. You know how shitty the hotel Wi-Fi? But she didn't understand. But in her mind, she thought it was great. Because now, instead of bringing my whole console, you know how big the PS5 is. It's huge. Yeah. Amazon Fire Stick is like this big. So she thought, and we have 2 or 3 of them in the house. So she thought you just grab one of them and you're good for video gaming. And I'm like, yeah, that ain't it, Chief. I think
it's at 30 frames too, right?
Yeah, I don't know what. I'm not even entertaining.
I'm pretty sure it's at 30
but
frames.
In her mind, she didn't fully understand all the intricacies of it, and she thought it was a good idea. And that's what I'm talking about. You're gonna have a lot of casuals that don't really care about the whole technology part. A lot of them is just accessibility and just hand it to them on a silver platter and they'll eat it. But don't ask them to cook the food. Because then they'll just starve. They'd rather starve than actually put in the effort to cook the meal. You know what I mean? So and I know there's a far leap in logic, but just like what other companies did with Spotify, Disney Plus, they will go on full plans or go on these other subscription services to try to push the market on their own subscriber base. I wouldn't be surprised if Microsoft tries to utilize other subscription services to push Game Pass and boost their own. Game Pass does Game Pass have Netflix or Disney Plus? I know some people mentioned that if you sign up for Game Pass, you also have access.
No, it doesn't.
Let me see. Does anybody is there anybody in the chat know? I could have sworn there was something that if you subscribe to Game Pass, besides the EA, besides EA, Plus or whatever the hell they call it, but it was like a music service or a movie service that if you sign up for Game Pass, at least for a month, you got a month of Disney Plus. It was something of benefit. Anybody in the chat know? And I'm not talking about EA Access. I'm not talking about actual EA Access. I'm talking about they had a trial for Disney Plus. Yeah, I remember that. Paramount Plus. Yep, they had a thing for Paramount Plus. They got the Halo TV show subscriptions. There you go. You understand what I'm saying? Microsoft Rewards gives a month of Paramount Plus, Spotify, somebody see? So there's a lot of perks and stuff like that. You see what I'm saying? And there were some people that felt that PlayStation Premium should include Crunchyroll or whatever they own. Which, you see what I'm saying? So somebody said you get a free pizza on Xbox. But you see what I'm saying? It's people, it's people taking advantage of different demographics to introduce that demographic to something they may not know exists. Somebody said no polish. Oh shit.
I don't think we should even want Xbox to succeed at this point, because I feel like Xbox has proven that when it comes to that subscription model stuff, you're not getting a Ghost of Tsushima level game or anything close to God of War. And nobody wants these. I won't say nobody, but for the most part, if you want gaming to move forward, subscription services are not the way. Even if you look at Netflix, it's not like their shows have that many episodes. Their seasons are always
like 10
episodes. Yeah, 10. Yeah. So you see where I'm going with this. It's not the way. I don't even have a problem with subscription services as long as it's not the focus, because I've had PS Now and PS Plus for years now.
So for me, I'm not gonna say I don't want Xbox to succeed. I'm not gonna say that, because at the end of the day, it's a consumer product. If just like anything else, like this generation is gonna be a generation where I don't consider getting Xbox. Pretty much, I now consider PC as my next platform, and having an environment of PC, PlayStation, Switch. And whatever makes Xbox successful to their new audience, it's kind of like the Wii, right? I'll use the Wii, for example. I did not buy the Wii. Well, I did not buy the Wii for myself. I bought it for my nephew when he was a kid. But for me, I'm like, hell no. Like, this is not for me. Screw that, whatever. But guess what? It was still successful. It sold 100 million. It sold a lot of games. It just wasn't for me. It did not cater to me in any way possible. I just written it off completely. But it was still successful because it catered to another audience. I see Xbox.
The Wii was a gimmick console. I'm sorry.
It was, but it was successful. And a lot of people played it. And
it was a fluke.
Yeah, and I see Xbox doing the same thing, catering to a different audience that wants lots of games at a cheap price, and they don't really care so much about the game of the year level quality. They just want lots of content. And if that's the audience that gets built and created, just as long as Sony and Nintendo doesn't adopt that ideology and they stay true to what they want.
But P-Rock, we've seen that Sony always, if something is successful from Microsoft or Nintendo, they will copy it.
Some things.
That's why I'm saying I don't think it.
Some things, because like if you look at Sony right now, Sony is looking at, again, online service games. They're going in a totally different direction. They're putting a totally different focus. So they're doing their own thing, right? But ultimately, again, as long as PlayStation does what PlayStation does, Nintendo does what Nintendo does, Xbox does what Xbox does, all three don't have to be the same. If Xbox chooses this route, then the people buy an Xbox. That's what they want. If you don't like it, then don't buy an Xbox. And just, it is what it is. It won't impact you if you didn't buy and own the product. You won't suffer through that. Just, if Sony adopts that strategy, then we have something to worry about. Because now we're talking about the products that we do own. And now it could be like, oh shit, this, PS Plus premium tier is fucking shit up. Now, that's when you get to worry about it, whatever. But it sounds like Sony's holding the line, at least for now, saying that, hey, these big AAA games is just not sustainable. We're going to worry about the quality. We're going to put in the big budgets, and these games need to be sold. Then it is what it is, and that's how it is. As far as Xbox strategy, they go through. They're going to do what they're going to do. And if it works out for them, it works out. If it doesn't, then it doesn't.
I think they're gonna become a publisher eventually and just start putting their games on PlayStation, Nintendo, everywhere.
It depends. I think if they're gonna make games for Nintendo and PlayStation, it's because Nintendo and PlayStation allow Game Pass. That's gonna be the key. Everything is Game Pass. That's the gate. The gate is Game Pass.
No, I don't think so, because if Game Pass fails, they've still spent $70 billion and $8 billion on Activision and Bethesda. So even if Game Pass fails, they're still gonna release games on PlayStation and Nintendo without Game Pass.
So you're assuming that right now, I understand what you're saying, but I don't think you understand how Microsoft Game Pass is the platform. So Game Pass failing means Xbox failed. So there is no separate identity for Xbox away from Game Pass no more. That's not it. Game Pass is the platform. If Game Pass fails, then Xbox fails. There is no surviving post Game Pass.
I think they'll consolidate their losses by continue.
That's not how Microsoft. If you look at Microsoft, if the shit don't work, they're done with it. Like, for example, they spent $6 billion on Nokia for their phones. It didn't work. They shut the whole thing down. They didn't try to find a way to salvage it or maybe go with a different angle.
But you can't compare $6 billion to 70, though.
No, yeah, you can, because to Microsoft, that's a drop in the bucket for them. Now, if you were talking Sony, sure. But Microsoft, that's also still a drop in the bucket for them. If the shit don't go the way they want it, they're going to shut it down.
I don't think they'll shut down Activision and Blizzard, man. That's too big.
They would just sell it off. They'd be like, hey, Activision, Blizzard, you're on your own, whatever. Like Microsoft, people don't look at. I'll use another example. Microsoft don't give a shit. Look at Mixer, right? Mixer wasn't a lot of heavy investment. Hell, they just spent money contracting the Ninja, Shroud, and all these players. Like 8 months later, they just shut it down. And there were people who were streaming on Mixer, and that was their job. And this was during the middle of the pandemic.
Yeah, I know. That sucked.
People were actually using this as a job, and they were cool. And Microsoft in the middle of pandemic said, nah, fuck that. This shit ain't working. Go to Facebook. They don't. I'm telling you, Microsoft doesn't. When Microsoft shuts shit down, they don't give a shit. They don't be like, that's fine. No, shut it down. We're moving on. Next.
Think about it. That's so much bad PR, Podorok.
They don't give a shit. They didn't become this.
We're talking almost $100 billion down the drain.
They got $2 trillion, brother, and they're gonna make even more. They don't give a damn. That's $100 billion for them is like $10 billion for Sony. It's nothing. It's nothing for them. It's nothing. Of course, they want to be successful. But if they're not, if their plan for Game Pass doesn't execute the way they want it to, they're shutting that shit down. They're moving on. Game Pass is the way. It's like the Mandalorian. This is the way. This is the way. You know, that's just how they see things. This is the way. So I was just, there's no facts. It was just this portion of the conversation is just wondering. There's no facts behind it. There is no guarantee. I was just wondering if there's potential Microsoft eventually might try to do this. It makes sense. But the last topic I want to talk about, and I'm going to share my screen, is this dude right here. I don't know if you've seen this guy, new YouTuber, not a big channel, but he's doing good, right? And I reward everybody putting in the work. But I'm gonna don't say nothing. Just if you could just mute yourself. Because I'm going to take off my headset and we're going to play this thing so people can hear it. All right. So I want everybody to hear this. Okay. Let me see. Is everybody? Okay, cool. We're going to go back. All right. So listen to this guy.
Hey, so I just want to say something real quick regarding a video I just uploaded. Basically talking about how if I want to play Halo Infinite co-op during the flight or when it officially gets added to the game, I will have to spend more money on Halo Infinite because I don't have a Game Pass subscription and I never bought the game. So when Halo Infinite launched, I played through the campaign for $1 because I bought the Game Pass Ultimate for $1. $1. And now I would have to pay 10 times that amount, minimum, a $10 Game Pass USD, if I want to experience co-op. I'm just pointing out how ridiculous that is. Like, not only did we have to wait 8 months for co-op, but I'd also have to spend more money to play it. 10 times the amount that I spent when I originally played it. Now, yeah, no shit, you have to have access to the game to play it. I'm just pointing out how ridiculous it is. This is what happens when core features like co-op are missing at launch. Like, it's not just, we'll add it later. Well, no, now I have to spend more money if I want to experience that feature that should have been in the game at launch. that I should have been able to experience for $1. Some people are saying, oh, the dollar, that's a Game Pass price. That's not $343. It doesn't matter. None of that matters. I'm just pointing out how absurd it is that I'd have to spend more money to experience co-op in a Halo game. More money. Like 10 times the amount than I originally paid. That's it. That's all I'm pointing out. I mean, I can get in all these comments. Oh, this is a bad take, bro. Oh man, I've read. This is a non-issue, dude. Like, I'm just pointing out how ridiculous it is. If you don't see how that's ridiculous, then I don't know what to tell you.
So, all right, let me help you out here. So everybody saw that, right? Let me stop sharing my screen. So, all right, people. All right. Let me see. I didn't miss any super chats, right? Because I accidentally backed out of okay. Donnell Brown, member. Shout out to the 60 FNO family. Thank you so much. He said, "Go Dodgers." You know what? I'm hitting that button. We hitting it. That's it. I'm a Yankee fan. We hitting it right now. You want to play with me? You want to play with me? You want to come up and go Dodgers? You know what? I'm not. You know what? You're Dodgers. You're right. We cool. We cool. But do not do a super chat saying go Boston.
You should know how the internet works. That's probably exactly what he's going to do.
I'm not even going to. Listen, so far I've been bullshitting with the whole like. But I swear to God, if y'all do a super chat and say go Boston Red Sox, I'm hitting that button. We not doing that. We are not. That's disrespectful. That is just straight. I was going to say go Phillies. You're right. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to True SSJ Havoc. But Boston, we do not speak or listen. On this channel, we do not brag about eating Boston cream pie. Trash. We do not talk about Boston baked beans. Trash. The Boston the Boston Tea Party was a lie. That never happened. That's fake news. And we most definitely not going to talk about Boston Red Sox. We're not doing that on this channel. We are not going to hype up the Red Sox. You will get this ad. Play with me. Do not do it. You say, I don't get commercials on my YouTube. Well, you're going to get commercials on this channel. All right? I'm going to find a way. Right? So don't even play. Don't disrespect bringing Boston Red Sox nonsense onto this. We're not doing that. All right? But anyway. I better not see no super chat going up. Don't do it. Show respect. You know, like J Bar says, respect gaming. Respect the comment section. Show some respect.
Yeah.
Respect it. Don't bring.
Can I comment on what that guy said?
Anyway, so we're gonna. All right. So what do you think about that? I'm gonna start with you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start with you. So you heard, right? You heard what he said.
Yeah.
You got to. But what do you feel about that?
See, this is why I say Xbox is the cater of gaming, because with Game Pass, it's such a it warps the consumer's mind into thinking that they really are gonna get all the these AAA games with all the bells and whistles for $15 a month, and it's just not happening. Look at what happened to Halo. You pay $15 a month, you got the game, it was missing Forge, it was missing co-op, and now that you're being asked to pay more money, you're like, oh, this is unfair, this is bullshit, blah blah blah, when you were never gonna get the full product for $15 a month. You go to McDonald's and buy a burger with a milkshake, that's like $12. You're not gonna get a game that's like substantial of $15 a month, but they think that that's what they deserve, and they're just. This is just yeah.
Okay, so you do have, you're on the right track of what I'm saying, because you can see that guys like him, they have a bad idea of expectation, but yet they want to pay $1. So you do have an idea. So that guy, if he sees this, bro, you do have a bad take. Your take is absolutely terrible. Right? And trust me, I'm not You can't say I'm an Xbox Defense Force guy. That clearly ain't it. No Celtics, hell nah. Nothing Boston. Listen. Patriots, Celtics, Bruins, Boston cream pie, Boston baked beans, Boston tea party. That shit ain't happening on this timeline. None of that shit exists. That's how much I hate the Red Sox. None of that shit exists. So don't be coming up in here with y'all Boston bullshit. Alright? Don't do it. Don't play yourself, because I will hit that app button. Listen, if I hit that app button, you're going to have to blame these Boston team fans. Don't get mad at me. Alright? Listen, you know what I'm saying? They're the ones that's going to test the waters in this. Alright? They're going to try to test the waters. Don't allow them to test the waters. I'm not playing no Boston Red Sox. Ugh. It's cringe. Being the best Boston Red Sox fan is so cringe. Boston crab, Boston clam chowder, yeah, none of that. That shit is trash. Anyway, so that Pop Q guy, absolute terrible take. Right? And if he sees this or whatever, one is not everybody. If you see my channel, clearly I'm not part of the Xbox Defense Force. That is clear. But I'm going to explain to you why you have it back to. I'm going to thoroughly explain to you why. Number one, right? When you decided to play Halo Infinite for $1, you consciously made the decision. He made the conscious decision to subscribe to Game Pass for $1 and to just cut it off, because obviously he said he doesn't have Game Pass, right? But to play Halo for $1. When he made that decision, he already knew that co-op was not going to be there day one. He already knew Forge is not going to be there. But since he's complaining about co-op, we're going to talk about co-op. You already knew that the product you're about to play did not have co-op. So you purposely decided to pay for this product. That's number one. And when you did decide to pay for this product, you knew that access to this game would be temporary. Because you know that dollar did not give you permanent access to the rights to the game. To get permanent access to the rights to the game, you had to buy it for $60. You chose not to buy it for $60. Right? You chose the Game Pass route. And you made a conscious decision to cut Game Pass subscription, which means you will lose access to the game. Therefore, facts. These are just absolute facts. You knew co-op was there not day one. You knew you had no intention of owning the game. And you knew you were not going to have consistent access to the game. So whatever update that was promised later on in the future, which you knew Bungie was working on these features later on in the future, you knew you want to have access because you chose not to buy the game and you chose not to sustain your Game Pass subscription. So you knew, okay? You paid for what you got. You got the exact Halo Infinite that was advertised, that was there, that was being provided, and you chose to do it for $1. You didn't choose to wait to actually pay that $1 for when you got the game you wanted to play. You got the game that was advertised and you played it, right? Bungie was, whether wrong, right, and different. Now, I agree. It should have been there day one, right? But Game Pass will change the dynamic of how games are made, right? That Game Pass will now have games released at a certain time and have missing features that are normally day one. But Microsoft's mindset is, since you're still on Game Pass, they're just going to keep updating it and provide the content because you will have access. For guys like you, who don't sustain Game Pass and just want to do it one time, you're more often than not, you're not going to get full access to the game. This is Microsoft's new paradigm. Now, to make it, you kind of went a little bit flamboyant, or you went crazy. I got to pay 10 times the amount now. Bro, that's $10. Like, stop it. Like, the fuck is you doing here? Like, you really think saying those words is going to sucker us? I now have to pay 10 times the original amount. Like, bro, listen, I'm all about, you know, clotheslining Xbox dudes. You look at my channel going back to 2016, you know I'd be uppercutting and power driving. You know I'd be doing the tombstone. I come in like an Undertaker and I will kill any Xbox on a debate. But that shit's crazy. I got to pay 10 times the amount. Like, bro, you're talking $10. Like, stop it, son. Like, fuck is you doing here? You know what I'm saying?
That was funny.
And you know what's crazy? You know what's crazy? Like, right now, here's what's crazy. Right? Here's what's crazy. I'm gonna look at something. Hold on. Here's what's crazy. Instead of all that craziness he did, I'm gonna look up something. I'm gonna just look at something real quick. I'm gonna see how much Halo Infinite costs on Amazon. Halo Infinite. You can buy Halo Infinite for $34, right? And actually own it, right? And you probably, you know what? You probably could go to GameStop and get it used for like $20, right? Now, granted, it's 20 times the cost of the amount of when you originally bought it, right? Got it, right? But you own it. And now every time they update the game, every time they add something new, every time they put something in the game, you have permanent access forever. Buy your games. You should have bought the game at $60. Now, granted, you're probably thinking, well, what the fuck? It's $60. It doesn't have the full content. Then don't buy it. Wait till it drops in price. Again, a lot of the stuff I say that I give advice on, I did myself. I will give you, PopQ, a perfect example. So that way you don't think I'm just a shit talker. Street Fighter V on the PlayStation went through the same bullshit and there was no Game Pass or whatever. When Street Fighter V launched for the first time for $60, it didn't have no single player campaign. Nothing. All it had was really the online competitive multiplayer and I think training mode. Because they released the game because the priority for the game was to have it out for the competitive fighters for EVO. Because it had to be an EVO that year because Sony, ESPN, and Capcom did a three-way deal and they spent millions. So EVO was the big event on ESPN 2 or 3. But the headliner of the show was Street Fighter. It had to be on the show. But you can't have Street Fighter V on the show if you don't have the game out. But the game wasn't ready. They released it anyway for $60 with just online fighting and training mode. No story mode, no single player, nothing. They didn't add that to like 3-4 months later. That's when I bought it. I didn't buy Street Fighter V at launch for $60. I bought it for $30 in June, physical edition, and it had all the modes loaded up and ready. You could have done the same thing. Hey, I'm not buying Halo Infinite. It's incomplete. Whatever. I'll wait for price drops. I don't want to do Game Pass subscription. That's not my thing. I'm going to wait for a price drop. Boom. Price drop $30. You get the co-op mode. You get the Forge. Boom. You get what you want, and you will continue to get updates. You know what I'm saying? But this whole, oh my God, 10 times the amount. Nah, bro. You knew what you were getting day one. You knew that you would not have permanent access to the game. You knew that you pretty much, you redboxed. You went in and you played the game for $1 and you got $1 worth. That's what you got. If you want more of the content, you either had to stay subscribed to Game Pass or you bought the game. But you rented it for $1 and you knew. I
would just buy the game if at that point.
You should have just bought it, right? You should have just bought the game from the get-go. But if you felt it wasn't worth $60, hey, I'm not knocking you.
And you know what's interesting? You don't hear him talking about, I had these 300 other games to play. He didn't even bring that up. He only spoke about Halo.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, yeah. But I think his point was he shouldn't have to pay again. No, you do have to pay again because you chose rental. You chose timed access to your game. You chose timed access to your game. And you knew it didn't have co-op. So that's your fault. You should have waited. You should have not played the game day one. You should have waited till they added co-op because you knew co-op was going to be there day one. And then when co-op is added day one, now you subscribe to Game Pass for $1 and you play the game the way you want it. That's your fault. I can't rock with that. I be messing with Xbox guys all the time, but no, you legitimately, that's a terrible take. You knew. You knew exactly what you were getting into for $1. That's it. Next time, buy your games. You would have bought the game. As the game gets updated, you will get everything. Every update they decide to do that to that game, you will always have access to the game. Buy your games. This is what happens when you fucks with the Game Pass. Now, ain't nothing wrong with using Game Pass to your advantage, because Game Pass does find a way to where you can finesse the system. Like, I'm going to use it. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to finesse the system, right? I'm going to do it on PC, Get my gaming PC. Yeah. Like games like Redfall. Some of these games that I'm really not confident to be like, this is not something I want to buy. I'll just subscribe for Game Pass for 1 month. On PC it's $10, and for $10 I'll play Redfall or whatever these games, and I'll unsubscribe. And boom, I'm not stealing it. I'm just finessing the system to play Microsoft games for $10. It is what it is. You understand what I'm saying? The games I do want to buy, I'll buy it on Steam. Boom, I'll pay my $50, $60 for the games I do want to buy, right? Boom, got it. That's what I want to do. I'm good. You understand what I'm saying? So Game Pass does provide a way to finesse the system and stuff like that, right? You don't have to stay subscribed month after month after month and just constantly giving Microsoft $10, $15 for no reason. You can unsubscribe, play your games on your backlog, or play these other games from other developers or whatever. And then when Microsoft finally figures it out and they release all these games, you know, then you can subscribe for that month, play all the games you want, unsubscribe. And boom, you enjoy your games for $10, $15 depending if you did it on console PC. That's cool. But what you did, bro? Nah, son. You finessed it. But you can't really complain about lack of co-op day one because we already knew that. The conversation of lack of co-op day one is a conversation in of itself. That I agree. Right? But that is separate than what you're trying to do. You're trying to do this, oh my God, I paid 10 times the amount. That shit is cool. When you did that, I'm like, oh man, this dude really did it. My man pulled the 10 times the amount. Bro, it's $1. You're talking $10, right? Buy the game, bro. Especially I looked at his channel. He talks about Halo a lot. Bro, if you're going to talk about Halo a lot on your channel, you're going to mention Halo Infinite. And you're probably talking about the multiplayer, which is free, obviously. But just buy Halo. Pay the $34. Buy it. It's clearly what you want to talk about. You'll get access to everything. And as Bungie updates the game, you talk about it. And that's it. You always have access to update. Is it ideal?
It's
no.
not Bungie, it's 343.
I mean, not Bungie. I'm sorry. 343. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
no, you're right. It's 343. I apologize. 343.
It's all good.
Yeah,
easy mistake.
Yeah. As Bungie oh my God, it's 343 updates the game. You can say, yes, this update should have been day one. 4 should have been day one, of course. And you have the right to complain about that. But as the updates get updated, you talk about it on your channel, you provide the content, and you always have it. You don't have to play this game. Oh my God. 343 updated Forge. Now I gotta pay 20 times the amount to play this. Like, nah. That's just that's a crazy take. That was crazy take. And in my opinion, that's the shit that just gets weird. Now people want everything for $1. Like people cannot reasonably people cannot reasonably see that Microsoft is gonna come out with strategy to drip content and stretch it out all throughout the year. Because they want people to stay on Game Pass. And like you said, they're not going to provide a full-fledged boom, all that stuff. You know what I'm saying?
But you know, what frustrates me is the fact that they spent so much time talking about the power of the Xbox Series X. And then, like a year later, when the games are about to come out, they show the Xbox Series S. And that's going to make all the games on the X look worse. And then on top of that, they got games like Pentiment coming out with some of their most talented devs. Yeah. It's like the bait and switch is just crazy to me.
Man, they got suckered. Yo,
like what the hell?
Yeah,
I'm playing Horizon Forbidden West, and like I said, I have a 1080p TV. The game looks amazing. I don't know. Xbox hasn't come out with anything that looks even close to that.
Yeah, they got suckered. And I just find it hilarious. And you know what? To me, that's a dead topic. I mean, they're trying. You know, they're nitpicking 1 or 2 games that do run better, but they're ignoring the PlayStation games.
You mean Forza?
You know, no, I'm talking about like the multiplats, right? There's some multiplats that have better perform a little bit, right? But vice versa, PlayStation has that too. And I'm like, yo,
nobody cares about the multiplats.
Listen, these goons got suckered. You know, all that power shit, they got suckered. All that overhype. They were hyping PlayStation to barely do 1080p 60. That's how bad. They're like, yo, I was speaking to developers.
And like Resident Evil
8, they just could get it to 1080p 60. I mean, hopefully it'll still be a good game, but wow. Man, if you don't shut your ass up, bro. Not only is it running 4K just like Xbox, PlayStation gets to play the game in VR, which is a totally unique experience. I'm sorry, Resident Evil 7 in VR, game changer. I don't care if you're at native 4K 120 frames. In VR, it is a unique experience that cannot be replicated on a TV screen. It's just different, bro. And a lot of guys, they played it on VR. They're like, they can't even finish it. It just has a no level of immersion that cannot be replicated on a TV, on a monitor, on a PC. The VR.
Yeah.
And guess what?
I'm getting the VR day one.
I'm telling you, bro.
Day one.
I'm telling you, bro.
Because I never got to play the VR.
So don't even worry about the PlayStation one. Don't worry about it. Don't forget about PSVR. Wait for PSVR 2. You're gonna get a better introduction, a better experience. And you play Resident Evil on that sucker. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, Resident Evil 4. I'm there day one. I'm not even a Resident Evil fan, but I love Resident Evil 4.
It's a whole new experience, bro. It's a game changer, bro. You're gonna be like, this is different. It's completely different, and simply graphical settings is not going to provide that. So, but anyway, I'm going to leave it off at that. We're going to send it off. It's 4 o'clock. I got to go get my hair cut. You know what I'm saying? But, hey, for everybody that rocked out on the show, everybody came through. I hope you enjoyed the Sunday broadcast. 60 frames, no lag. Thank you for rocking out. Hit the like button. I'm glad nobody talked about Boston Red Sox. That shows you give me a little bit of respect. I appreciate it. Thank you for that. I love you guys. Anyway, just a guy coming through, trolling me. Good job for trolling me on Sunday. Excellent. I mean, you caught me bad. Man, I tried. You caught me down. You caught me down bad on that one. Like, you got me sweating. I was like, and everybody, what? I give you guys props because all of you saw through him. I didn't. I was like, what is this dude doing on my channel? Like, fuck. But anyway, so shout out to you. Good troll.
Don't feel bad, man. I do the same thing to your brother.
Good stuff. To everybody in the chat, thank you for rocking out. I hope you enjoyed this Sunday broadcast. I hope I was able to provide good information on the way out. Hit the like button. I will see you Tuesday with the crew, and we're going to be doing it. All right? Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. This is your boy, your only friend in these YouTube street. Consider the Puerto Rican Thanos. Mint pistachio milkshake is trash.
Yo,
don't be drinking that shit.
Mind if I recommend the game real quick?
Oh shit, recommend the game. What's up?
Yo, I gotta try out Dying Light 2, man. I'm picking it up again. Like, I was playing it, I bought it day one, but then I stopped because Mad Games was coming out. And now I'm finally back. And I'm upgrading my character. I got a lot of the parkour skills. This game is really good. Like, really good. Especially on the PS5. I don't know about you last gen guys, but on the PS5, Dying Light 2 is worth the money.
Listen, brother man, I'm gonna help you out here. I have no problem with you recommending Dying Light 2. That's good. That's good gaming shit. But you just said 5 minutes before no one gives a shit about multiplats. You just said that. And you recommended multiplat.
No. I'm talking about when it comes to Xbox versus PlayStation. Not in
I know. I'm fucking with you. My man said, man, fuck multiplat. Hey, yo, Puerto Rico, can I recommend a game? Sure, a multiplat. Like, what? What are we doing here? Oh, shit. Oh, man, they got you, bro. They got you in the chat. They're not going to call you just a fraud. Oh, man, don't do that to my boy, man. Don't do that to him, man. He a good dude, man. Nah, you my boy. You my boy. That was I'm saying, I know, but you funny. That my man, it's just funny. You just called me. I thought you were gonna make an exclusive. My man said Dying Light 2. I was like, what the fuck? Like, yo, my man wildin' here. He said, fuck multiplats. You reminded me, was it, of Dave Chappelle. You know what I'm saying? He like, man, I never stomped on nobody's couch. Man, come on, I have a little respect. Who the hell you think I am? Well, I do remember stomping on the dude's couch. Fucking my man went Rick James on me, bro. Oh, shit. Yo, cocaine's a hell of a drug up in this motherfucker. Yo, fucking just the guy. Yo, this dude said, fuck multiplats. Hey, I want to recommend a multiplat. That shit's fantastic. Yo, you wildin'. Yo, my dude wildin', bro. He trolling everybody today. My man's on troll mode Sundays. Yo, fuck your couch. That was in Picture Fire. Yo, in Picture Fire, so like, fuck your couch. Anyway, my man said, fuck your multiplat Xbox. Hey, yo, I recommend Dying Light 2. That shit is dope. You know, I'm playing. But hey, but you heard his recommendation. I heard people saying it's a good game. You heard his recommendation. Check it out. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, this is your boy PuertoRock77, your only friend in these YouTube streets. I am out of here. Thank you so much. I will see you guys Tuesday, 5:30. West Coast, 8:30 p.m. East Coast. It's a little bit, I know it's 30 minutes earlier, but it's a little bit more kosher to the rest of the panel. I'm going to try to get JFK TV up in there. My boy Eustace up in there. I'm going to try to get some gas. We're going to chop it up, all right? Hopefully some crazy shit happens Monday, right, that we could talk about. Anyway, until then, you guys take care. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. I am out of here. Peace.
Facts.